Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming. You're chatting gas.
Embarrassing.
Half ref.
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever.
What a huge day of football we have. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. We are so excited for this. We have a double stream and we cannot wait. Delighted to welcome the one, the only, the oracle, the legend that is Flavio Briatore is in the house. Flav, we are so grateful for you stepping in. Huge shoes to fill in, Adam McKola.
Yeah, no chance. Absolutely no chance.
Thank you, mate.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. I've got to say, though, I'd rather be anywhere else than sitting next to you and watching this game.
Is that because of the game or just me generally?
What? No, you. Yeah, you. You're like, down Tottenham, you're like the worst. You're like the worst of the worst. I don't know if anyone knows this, but Rory once stuck a blue plaque on the old White Hart Lane. Because what was it to celebrate?
Yeah, you have an excellent memory here. I did do exactly that. I went to Tottenham way back in the day, and you know how around London you have these blue plaques that commemorate amazing things that have happened. So you'll have one that says Oscar Wilde lived here, or
Karl Marx, whatever.
Yeah, Karl Marx lived there, or whatever it is. So I had a blue plaque created, and it was Toure Andre Flo, and I put it up on the old ground where he scored a hat trick. I was like, this is where it happened.
How did you cement it onto the thing? Was it super glue?
Super glue.
Super glue.
Yeah.
Super glue,
That's
mate.
genius.
Yeah.
Since then, Rory's like target number one.
Yeah, I'm very scared when I'm in the vicinity of Tottenham.
So you should be. It's your fault. You've done this. You've done all of this.
I don't disagree. I'd like to think that I've grown since then. Like that probably happened in like 2015.
Yeah, you may have grown, but we haven't forgotten.
I like it. Never forgive, never
Spurs
forget.
never forget.
It's a good match. Good mantra. Good mantra. How are you, Booth?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Excited for today?
Yeah, I think you smashed Spurs.
You don't.
It's the most Spurs result ever. They, every season, their biggest moment of the season is playing City. It's the Man City Cup for Spurs. So congratulations, you won it again, Flav, mate.
What?
And then you come up against
does that even
Chelsea.
mean?
Chelsea will be terrible, and they'll still beat you 4-0.
Do you honestly
Do you know what I
think
mean?
that Chelsea win this game?
They smash you as well.
Do you know?
Good lineup today
I
as
would
well.
always say this is the first time in history. This is a historic moment. First time in the history of my life that I've ever said I think Chelsea will lose to Tottenham. I've never believed that ever.
Surely
of course,
it's been
Chelsea,
worse.
No, Chelsea have lost to Tottenham over the years.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I never went into the game expecting Chelsea
Even
to
with
lose.
that sorry side you didn't like.
No, because I was still.
A couple of those really
I
bad
still
seasons.
believed that we were going to win.
Yeah.
I still know the Hiddink
Just with
team.
the quality in the side.
Do you know what, Booth? Hiddink was the manager of the Battle of Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Hiddink was the manager that pulled it out of the bag, stopped Tottenham winning the league.
Didn't stop Tottenham.
Did stop Tottenham winning the league. It did. Don't change the narrative. It did.
No, I'm not changing the narrative.
You're changing the narrative.
You should have won the league that season.
You should have won the league and Chelsea stopped you. Your
Your
dreams died at Stamford Bridge. Your dreams
it
died.
became mathematically impossible.
Yes.
Then.
You should have won it. You should have won that season.
No,
Your dream.
Definitely.
won that.
But all my life...
we were never
Tottenham had
in
some-
reach. We were never in reach.
You were.
No,
you
we
should have won the
absolutely
league.
You should have
It was
beaten
an
Leicester.
ultimate failure that you didn't win the league. Do you know all my life, though? All my life, Tottenham have been... At times, Tottenham have been better than Chelsea. So through the 90s, there were eras where Tottenham had a better team than Chelsea. You mean, do you remember...
Through the
they had
90s?
Well, there were times in the 90s where you had that famous five up front, Klinsmann, Dumitrescu, Popescu, Anderton, whatever.
6 months. You're talking about 6 months of football. And
You called it the famous five. You made it a thing. I didn't call it the famous five. I'm not an Enid Blyton fan. I don't care, right? You lot made it a thing. We didn't have a good team that year at all. We beat them 4-3. Like Mark Steen, we just had always had the edge over them.
The issue is it's weird. It's an inconceivable truth. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Everything changes. The players change. Managers change. It's a new stadium, right? Everything changes. There shouldn't be such thing as a hoodoo. You're talking about magic. You're talking about faith.
You know when Lulu and Take That sung that song? Maybe they were singing Everything Changes But You, and they were singing to Tottenham.
Probably.
That's not the song. They sang a different... Relight My Fire you're talking about.
Oh, is that Relight My Fire?
Yeah.
What was Everything Changes But You? We're 1,000 miles apart.
Someone's going to have to Google that in the back room.
Let's take that as well.
No, Relight My Fire featuring Lulu. It's a classic, lad.
What was Everything Changes But You?
I don't know. Someone's going to have to Google it. I don't know, but it's definitely not that song
But mate, listen to how bad it was. In 1990, Tottenham beat Chelsea. Gary Lineker scored the winner. Think of all the players that played for Tottenham. Do you know who the next winner was?
Who?
The next person that scored a winner? Aaron Lennon.
Yeah.
Like, think of the amount of players that played for Tottenham.
But you said about the magic. I think Spurs have got the biggest kind of hoodoo in world football. Because I think Mourinho goes there and he fails to win a trophy.
Only club.
Gareth Bale leaves for 10 years, his one season out of Real Madrid on loan. His one season. He goes to Spurs. He wins absolutely nothing.
Buvey,
And guess what? He goes straight back to Real Madrid, and he's a bit of a
Wins
part
the
player.
European Cup.
He wins the Champions
But
League.
Buvey,
And a league.
there's about 50 players that have left Tottenham and gone on to win trophies. It's not. I agree.
That's what I'm trying to say. I think there's a massive cloud in North London, and
Yeah.
it's a trophyless magnetic pull of failure.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't. You're 100% right.
I'm not even trying to mind you, and I can see it because actually, Man City and Spurs being the smaller clubs in our cities, that's fair to say, in terms of Arsenal and Chelsea, you're the third or the second biggest.
We're bigger than Chelsea. Chelsea are small club.
Chelsea are bigger than you. They're European club in London.
No.
You're the third biggest in London, maybe the fourth after West Ham.
It's about Abramovich's Chelsea, maybe.
Yeah.
But that isn't real.
Yeah, but
that's not what
that is
Chelsea
real.
are.
That is
Although,
is
do you
real.
know what? You go back, all of those victories in the 90s, Abramovich, you'd never heard of him. Like Chelsea would always beat Tottenham. This went way beyond. This went way before Abramovich.
This is the mental thing, Rory. If that's true. Even when Chelsea were falling apart, they were still beating us, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand about hoodoos and fates. Because if you look at Man City, they haven't scored. Look how great they are. They haven't scored a goal against Spurs in our new stadium. Doesn't make
it's
any
weird.
sense.
It's a weird hoodoo
Crazy.
there, isn't there? It's a
Crazy.
weird.
Yeah,
Tottenham.
we
Tottenham
just got their number. They're scared of Spurs.
Tottenham are a very. They are a fascinating team. Tottenham. I do find them like a very interesting sort of social experiment. Because obviously, I acknowledge that they're a big club, Tottenham. I'm never foolish enough to say that they're not a significant.
They are a social experiment.
They are a social experiment.
Yeah.
It's an
What does that mean?
interesting.
It's like giving old people a bus pass. Do you know what I mean? It's like a kind of social thing. Yeah, I get it.
It's an interesting club, Tottenham. But today, this is the day that I am most fearful of them. It's more fearful today than I have ever been of this Tottenham team.
Whenever we play Spurs, whenever we play Chelsea, I just it kind of feels like a free hit. I've been so trained and exhausted by this fixture over the years that I just really feel nothing about it anymore. I'm like, well, it's Chelsea. Regardless of how well we play, it's going to be a problem. And so it feels like a free hit. It always does against Chelsea, even though you have been awful this season.
Yeah, I mean, today's a day that Potter needs to really get it
go
right.
if he.
No, he won't go because I think the board won't be able to do that. I think the ego of the billionaire will keep him in his job because it's his mistake and he wouldn't want to admit his mistake. But if we lose today, I think the fans will turn. Chelsea fans can tolerate quite a lot and some will back Potter. But you lose to Tottenham and then bearing in mind we play Leeds next week. That's arguably our two biggest games in the season in consecutive weekends. We don't win those two games, it could be a real problem. But before we go any further, I need to say a huge thank you to the wonderful folk of NordVPN. Get in. We have a sponsor. Thank you so much to NordVPN. They are truly wonderful and I cannot recommend their product highly enough. It's so good and one subscription gets you 6 logins. So it really is perfect and it's so cheap. It's about the same price as a cup of coffee in old London town.
It's cheaper than a cup of coffee at the moment. I mean, it's unbelievable how cheap it is, and what you get for it is the quickest VPN going on the market. It prevents things like malware and websites, dodgy websites tracking you. And not to say I'm going on any dodgy websites, but even if you want to watch a movie in a different country. And the big thing for me is that I'm looking at my summer holidays, Roars. I want to book flights in different countries. Once you do that and then you use a VPN, you're getting the cheapest prices consistently.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the best thing about it as well is literally zero jeopardy. Money back guarantee.
100%.
You don't like it, you get your money back. There is zero jeopardy around it. So if you are in the market for a VPN, and let's face it, everyone is, NordVPN is the answer. Flav, you've already got a pre-existing relationship with the wonderful folk of NordVPN.
Yeah, I've got a podcast called The Fighting Cock, and this is weird because we've been backed by them all season, and I've been using it on a personal level for months. And if you use it correctly, you'll save yourself money. Now, this sounds like I'm doing a read now. I'm not. I've saved money by. But what I did was I went over to. But it basically opens up on your laptop, and you see a map of the world, and you can click a server in Venezuela, which I did, and I used that to buy a YouTube Premium for 99p. So in that one action, which took 2 minutes, I've saved myself the money.
Amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Amazing. And they have been so kind because they have partnered with the club. They're supporting us. If you need any help with your VPN provider, make sure that you head to NordVPN. It's NordVPN/the club.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we are very, very grateful. There's Graham Potter. I cannot say that he inspires me.
What was your thought when he goes there? He's had a long kind of mullet vibes. in Sweden. He's had that kind of long hair.
What word did you just use?
Mullet vibes.
I don't know
mullet
what you said.
vibes,
I
almost like
thought, do
longish
you
hair.
know what I was doing there? I
Yeah.
thought that your vocabulary exceeded my comprehension, so I kind of didn't react. And then the only reason I felt brave enough
was
to
the
react
accent.
is because I looked at Flav, and Flav went,
But you're not. You had that kind of.
"Do you mean mullet?"
That mullet. Yeah, mullet. That's
What
what
you
you
said?
Millet. He said a millet.
Mullet.
said mullet.
All right, well,
Mullet.
You know what I'm trying to say. But
You
he had
mean
that,
mullet?
he had
The,
that
long,
kind of
the weird Spencer FC haircut.
Yeah, and then he goes to Swansea, has that kind, and then he goes to Chelsea. Wow, he had the freshest haircut in West London.
Yeah, they call
And
it a glow
then
up.
it's suddenly.
Yeah.
They call
Did
it
have
a glow
It's
up.
faded,
You've had a
hasn't
bit
it?
of a glow up actually
Oh,
since I last saw you.
I've got some fantastic barbers in Soho, in central London. Beautiful.
West End. That's not central London.
West End, yeah.
You're in
West
Soho.
End.
You're in
I
West
call
End.
it central London.
Yeah, but you know,
What is central London then?
central London is a term that would be used by people who don't have any understanding of London.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Up
yeah.
It'd be
London.
like the kind of people that say we're
In the
going
West End.
uptown.
But yeah, do you know what I mean? It's weird. You know when a manager looks beleaguered, I think there's something to that. You know, at Man United, Mourinho had bags under his eyes, grey hair,
Yeah.
sweating.
Yeah, I know what you
Potter
mean.
looks.
I know what
He's
you
already
mean.
gone back to that kind of shabby look.
Mourinho definitely is the perfect example of that. You know, Mourinho went from being an incredibly sort of handsome and daring looking man to just this like haggard
Pickled onion.
Oh yeah.
What does he look like?
And then it's when he quit Tottenham, I then saw him on like a
He looked better again.
he looked amazing.
I know,
again.
I know,
He was in
I know.
Rome. He
I know.
was in Italy. He was like in a vineyard in Italy or something. Beautiful, unbelievable.
It's a weird situation that Potter finds himself in because he's obviously not a right fit for Chelsea. He doesn't feel like that they fit. And when they appointed him, I didn't think like it was going to work. But if you look at the recruitment around him, most of these players, you'd imagine he really didn't have much role in recruiting himself. Cucurella went there before Potter, I think. Turned out to be a flop.
What about the 6th in January that was under his stewardship? The 6th
Right,
in January.
so this is the issue here, right? Is because they've signed players from leagues which are so far beneath what the Premier League is, and it might take those players a year to settle in or get into that team, or they just might not be good enough. They've spent huge amounts of wealth, all of which Potter now has to try and fix. Throwing loads of players into a team is difficult for any manager, no matter how good the quality is.
I think you make a really good point there. You know, I think that is a really strong point. Simply because Chelsea have signed Mudryk, and at the time everybody kind of went, Chelsea have got one over on Arsenal. Arsenal in the mud, as youngsters say, right? And all of a sudden you're kind of going, oh, that's a disaster. That's a disaster from an Arsenal perspective. Arsenal signed Leandro Trossard, and the thing is, when you sign a player like Trossard, it's virtually as guaranteed as something can be guaranteed in football.
Instant, yeah.
Because there is a 4-year backlog, a 4-year case study to survey and decide this geezer can do it in the Premier League. Mudryk comes in. Maybe he's wicked. Maybe we should take the word of Dario Serna, who's telling us that he's going to be the main man and all that. But equally, there is some jeopardy there. Whereas signing Premier League proven players should never be overstated.
It's not exotic. Trossard's not an exotic name.
It's quite an exotic name, Leandro.
Oh, it's a beautiful name.
Mate, your
you
name's
know,
Lawrence.
yeah.
You can't start being snide about exotic names, and neither can I. Mate.
I
People
don't-
in
I
glass
don't-
houses.
you know-
do.
you
But
know-
the
my
geezer's
first
called
name's Gary.
Leandro,
You know, I
and
don't-
you're being snide about his name.
You know, I don't care. Do you know what I
Mate.
mean? If it was Ben Johnson, I mean, it shouldn't matter. But what I'm trying to say is, your American owner wants these kind of extravagant signings, I know I've been critical of the guy. He's played 100 minutes of football for Chelsea. You know, mate, he's got nowhere near the level of ability to be even a Premier League player at the moment. Honestly, he doesn't have the ability.
That's early.
Mudryk.
Yeah. But
we
you
don't know.
I think you can see it. You can see it in basic patterns of play and movement, his physicality.
basically, what he's never done for Chelsea so far, but hopefully today could be the day. What he hasn't managed to do is have the contribution that Leandro Trossard has already had at Arsenal.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Trossard might not have
And
ever scored a goal for Arsenal so far, but you could see, even if he just
No, but
plays
even
it out with
yesterday.
his feet, takes
No,
the
but
touch.
even
Some of the
yesterday.
things from Mudryk.
I thought. Did you watch the games yesterday?
Yeah.
Trossard's assist.
Yeah.
You know the little nutmeg
Yeah,
assist.
nutmeg to mouth
I think
tornado.
that's wicked. Like I
No,
think
he's-
that's really
he's sick.
good.
That's what I'm
and the
trying to say,
goal
he's
he had,
amazing.
he had a brilliant goal ruled out.
Yeah, which was crazily ruled out. I mean, VAR at this point is trying to desperately rule out anything.
Yeah,
It's
although they were holding
anti-football.
hands.
I think you can do that. It was that.
I'd
for
say
me.
get off me if that was. I'd
Well,
say
yeah,
it now.
In
We're
this
not even on the
context,
pitch.
yeah, exactly. But do you know what I mean? I think it was a bit like. I think you're being a bit disappointed if everything's being ruled out like that.
Yeah,
every game.
I know what you mean, but I'm slightly concerned. But yeah, you are right, Flav. Like some of what you said earlier, where
Feels
you
like a
said
gap
basically the fit isn't right. I think the fit of Potter, and you know sometimes you get this in management. the manager just doesn't fit the club. It isn't about ability. Rafael Benitez was never welcomed at Stamford Bridge. He didn't fit the club. A great example I always think is Roy Hodgson at Liverpool. Roy Hodgson didn't fit Liverpool.
No,
and I don't.
Well, there's an irony here that Conte probably would do more with what this Chelsea team is. That's the right fit for him, and Potter would probably be a better manager for Tottenham than he would be for Chelsea.
That,
switch
I
manager.
could see him there actually at Tottenham in the future.
Potter get the Tottenham job
in the future.
Yeah, maybe.
But
We'll see what's going to happen. Obviously, we're in this.
The problem with Potter, I haven't seen anything in him, anything in the way that he conducts himself, anything in the way that he sets his team up to suggest that he is a big club manager. And look, regardless of the debate and humour that we have around Tottenham, of course Tottenham are a significant big club. Of course they are. I mean, they're not as big as they think they are. And the fact that their fans will tell you they're the biggest team in London.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean?
Well,
think
you're the
third biggest in London.
The way that your fans go on, you wouldn't think it was that they were talking because they're basing it all on their great granddad seeing them win the double. Their great granddad saw it.
What year is that? Just for everyone at home, what year is that?
Their great granddad saw them win the double,
1961.
which was
61.
Prior to England
5
winning
years
the World
before the World Cup.
Mate,
that's a whole World Cup before the World Cup.
Booth, listen to this. That date, Tottenham won the league closer to the Victorian era than it is to today.
Yeah.
And they tell you they won two league cups.
Neither of your clubs would have won anything unless you were financially doped. You can't just sit here all high and mighty.
So where's your money for the £1 billion stadium where you got Lady Gaga performances and Beyonce rocking up and down?
You're going to go to that? Mate,
I've got a mate of mine who hates all that, but he's got 2 tickets for Beyonce. Yeah, he goes, I want my football club back. But I do like Beyonce as well. So.
Football is gone. Football is broken. Beyonce?
Yeah, we say Beyonce.
Yeah, all the
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, big fan of it.
But that was a big investment. I mean, £1 billion. Where did that come from? Because you've not won any Premier League. The revenue...
No,
but I'd like to know seriously.
It's been loaned. It's not we haven't paid for it, yeah.
Okay, so it's been loaned.
Look, what your problem with you two, right? On a personal level, why you're both intensely irritated.
Show an attack personally.
I will attack you on a personal level here, right? It's because you're so bloody holier than thou about your football club.
He's right about you.
Here we go.
Lawrence Buvey's bingo is what I call it. The 3 things he'll come out with all the time. Won it 4 times in 5 years.
Yeah,
everything's embarrassing.
Can I say the other one?
Needs to grow up.
I've got one more. Can we make it a 4th thing?
Go on then.
He hasn't been saying it lately, but there was a time when all I would hear is 198 points over 2 seasons.
Is that not?
Remember that?
Is that okay?
That
so
is
what
good,
are we living
though.
in a vacuum?
That
is that insignificant in the football world? What should we talk about? Cricket.
Oh,
Let's
he's
talk about
upset.
cricket.
You've upset him. Look.
Yeah, but seriously, 4 and 5
He's so
years.
upset.
You can't give me a side that's done that. Can you give me another side that's done 4 and 5 years in the last 100 years of English football?
How many points in 2 years?
No.
How many points over 2
Apparently,
years?
you guys are these kind of super football fans,
he's
super knowledge and all that.
Mate, it's meant to be me and you against him. He started on us.
You're in the middle. You're in the middle, okay? But look, 198 points is a serious feat. It's a sporting achievement.
It is pretty good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
It's more impressive. It's definitely more impressive than 2 league cups since 1991, mate.
Did you have to check that on your phone? Or something?
No, I get text messages from my mates, actually.
Quickly, how many have they won?
No, I was checking. Do you know what I was actually checking?
In spite
I was checking
of that,
how many
Spurs-
subscribers we have.
I actually think there's a big argument for me that West Ham are bigger than Spurs. For me, because it's pound for pound.
No.
You're just being a wind.
I'm not
say things
honestly,
like that.
Flav, mate, because
you come across ridiculous when you say stuff like that.
I don't, because you know, like boxing, for example, like, is Floyd Mayweather better than Mayweather? Is Floyd Mayweather a better boxer in his prime than Muhammad Ali? He wouldn't beat him in a fight, but pound for pound, he's a better boxer than Muhammad Ali, right?
Well,
so pound for pound, West
maybe.
Ham have had more of an impact on British football than Spurs have, pound for pound, because you've got this fancy stadium, you've got all the riches in your squad.
In what respect?
You know, you've had Mourinho.
Pound for pound doesn't mean anything. What are you talking about?
Pound for pound, relative to the investment in the squad. You know, West Ham haven't had the luxury of the money that you guys have had. You know, they had Upton Park, a smaller stadium, East London, more of a deprived area. I think they're a bigger club. Pound for pound, they're a bigger club than Tottenham Hotspur.
This is the last conversation I thought I was going to be having today. Whether or not West Ham are bigger than Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, there's as
an
much as I
argument,
love
that's
what
what I'm
Buvey's doing.
There's no argument for it.
No, there's no argument.
There might be an argument.
There's
There might be an argument.
there is no argument.
No, I love it. I do love it.
Like,
But
you know when we take the mick out of Tottenham for you know West Ham's trophy was like Frank Lampard's dad.
Yeah. What year is that?
1980. They won the FA. They beat Arsenal in the cup final in 1980. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Tottenham Hotspur are primed. Right,
mate. I've heard this forever. Do you know how many? Do you know Flav and I have been mates now for like not far off a decade?
Yeah.
A decade ago, he would say this to me. Do you know what he actually said to me?
Yeah.
He went like this. He looked at me like deadly serious, and he went, we're like a coiled spring, ready to launch ourselves into the world and win significant silverware.
You
10
can't
years
just
ago.
say
They
that
want
I said
anything
stuff
since.
that I didn't say.
They want anything since. You definitely said the coiled spring to me. We're like a coiled spring, ready to win silverware.
Sorry, it's outrageous.
That is
You
literally
can't put words
I remember
in my
where
mouth.
we were. We were in the Pret in Victoria.
Look, I do believe that. I don't think I said those words, but I do believe 100% the sentiment behind it.
You did.
I think you're right. I think you should be a coiled spring.
Spurs are, in terms of revenue, about money coming into the club, and that pound for pound comment makes sense, right? We are a much bigger club than West Ham, but the amount of investment that's gone into Tottenham in comparison, we haven't achieved much more than they have. So that is a fair point. What I would say though is that the investment and the revenue that we create is something like fourth richest club in the world. Only ahead of us are, Manchester City, we're fifth, but Manchester City doesn't count anymore because they've lied about everything.
No, you can't use that as your argument. Because
they're number one.
You can't use claims.
No, but
Man City are number one.
Well, I claim that you're a burglar then. You burgled houses in wherever you live. No. I
Buvey.
claim you're a burglar.
Buvey.
Why are you on the stream then? I claim
Buvey,
you've robbed old women's houses.
Buvey. They are number one above Real Madrid and Manchester United.
Yeah.
That can't be true.
What is true?
It's not. It isn't true.
Is it true?
Why are you in trouble?
We can't debate what truth is. What is objectivity? If it's on a list, it's on a list.
No,
I could write a list and just put Tottenham at the top.
hang on a minute. Booth, I think that we're allowed to take into the conversation here the allegations. If
we can't say they're true though.
No, but
They might be true.
Well,
but
I mean,
it's very unlikely.
it's very unlikely that Manchester City generate more money than Real Madrid.
Yes. Without
Legitimately.
cooking the book.
Fine, that's
Yeah.
the word. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
What I don't understand what your problem is. Why it's fine. You cook the books, it's fine. You've won all this stuff.
I don't think it's fine. I don't morally agree with it. I don't think it's fine. If we have done that, I don't think it's fine.
Well, you have
just for legal reasons.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I don't
yeah.
agree with that.
Allegedly, you don't.
Teams
But I know what you're trying to say.
are
I know what you're
out.
trying to say.
The players are out. This is it. We are feeling very, very nervous here. I'm concerned. I'm happy to see Fraser Forster in goal, though. Not convinced that he is a good player at all. Not convinced that he is a good player at all. What do you think, Booth?
Forster's one of the worst keepers in the league. I mean, I'm saying that with the fact that Danny Ward plays for Leicester City. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. But no, the fact Forster... What goal was it that he let in last week that went...
Mate, do you know what, though? I thought in their European game, was it Milan? He made a save in Milan where I just thought... What on earth is he doing?
Yeah,
I thought he played quite well out there.
Yeah.
What he is, though, can I ask you a ridiculous question, but I genuinely don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I'm so beyond Hugo Lloris being a good option.
Yeah.
I'm so beyond Hugo Lloris.
But you have Lloris over Forster.
Do you?
Yeah,
Definitely.
You do.
Even on the form that
The
Hugo...
argument is if Forster's a 21-year-old up-and-coming keeper, but Forster's at the back end of his career, and he
it-
never had a career.
Do you know what? What do you think, Flav? Genuinely speaking, considering I know that of course there's no comparison between them as keepers in their overall ability.
Yeah, you're talking about
but
now.
Right today, the form that
Is this like when
Hugo Lloris against Arsenal?
Yeah. Is this the argument where Pellegrini dropped Joe Hart and then he brought in Willy Caballero?
Yes.
Now Joe Hart's a better keeper legacy-wise, but
He's more modern. I don't think Forster's not much more modern than Lloris is. He's been around. He's not. He can play. He's a little bit better than his feet, maybe. But the answer to your question is no. Lloris plays ahead of him if he's fit.
Always.
We have to,
regardless of this form.
Yes.
you think Forster's better than Lloris with his feet?
I think
Lloris
they're
is
probably
terrible with his
Lloris is
feet,
terrible.
mate.
But Forster's like 7 foot.
No, but Lloris is terrible with
But
his
so
feet.
is the Forster. I'm just trying to say that's a fair point.
You're about 6'5", and you're pretty good with your feet.
I'm very good with my feet.
I know. I've seen it.
But I'm not a keeper, so I don't want to, ruin my ability being in goal. But
Ben Davies is a weak link in your side, isn't he?
He's been steady 6, 7 out of 10 all season.
For him, that's
but that is good. I mean, this is for 300th appearance at Spurs, and
Decent
it's
servant.
just like nothing. It's just like, where are his highlight moments? You know, it's just he does his best, and let's celebrate. It's an achievement, but he's someone we need to upgrade to.
Yeah, and do you know what? In 1 second, I want to get score predictions off both of you. So if you think about those.
Yep.
But before we do that, the game is about to kick off. Joao Felix heading towards the centre circle, expecting a lot from him today. But before it starts, we need to say thank you so much to the wonderful folk of NordVPN. They have sponsored us. We are so grateful and we are honoured to be partnered with them. The NordVPN service is exceptional and they bring you everything that you need. Everybody needs a VPN in their life. It is so useful. It is so cheap. It is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee. Just one subscription gets you 6 logins. Like that is so good. So it's one per family, one per WhatsApp group. Just get one, share it amongst your 6 mates. It's so good, and there is literally zero jeopardy. All you have to do is sign up, and if you don't like it for whatever reason, which won't happen, but if it does, you get your money back guaranteed.
100%. You might want to watch the highlights in a different country. You can do that. Watch a movie from different countries. It's absolutely beautiful. And then the kind of security side of it, it protects you from malware, protects you from websites tracking you. It's a beautiful deal all round. The game is about to kick off.
Got a Blues.
I think Chelsea. You talked about score predictions.
Yeah.
I'm going 3-0 Chelsea.
Oh my God, I'd be so happy if you're correct. Yeah. The trouble is, I don't know if you've ever got a score prediction correct in your life.
I said Brentford.
If you start
4,
talking about Brentford now, that means that
is that a game?
No, because it's literally your only one.
Right.
That's literally the only one that you've
not.
ever predicted right.
No, it's not.
Yeah, take me another one. I'm going to ask you for an accurate score prediction.
Well,
you can't say the word Brentford. You're banned from the word Brentford. Say an accurate score prediction.
I can't do two things at once. I'm trying to watch the game and analyse it for everyone watching at home.
Tottenham haven't touched the ball yet. 30 seconds old, Flav. What kind of mugs are you?
There you go.
There you go. Keeper got it.
Lovely.
Got to do a shout out, by the way. We are approaching 100,000 subscribers. It's unbelievable. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 100k by the time before Spurs win a trophy. Hopefully.
We'll be all right there.
Yeah.
We'll be. Do you think is it possible?
1 million.
Should we set a ridiculous target?
Yeah.
Should we before the end of this game?
Yeah.
That's stupid, is it? Are we just setting ourselves up?
No,
for
I'm on it. You'll definitely get over.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
You're
we
welcome.
have got.
You're welcome.
We're printing views here with Flav. Flav, tell people to subscribe.
Subscribe to the club right now.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
There you go.
What's this? Free content. It's free content for you. All you got to do is click subscribe. If you don't, it's on you. Like
There you
actually,
go.
if you, I was going to say switch off, but that's probably.
No, don't say
But
switch off,
no,
mate.
it's
What are you
terrible.
doing? Don't come on
no,
here.
no,
tell
no,
people
it's
to switch
terrible.
off.
I said I should have.
I hope Spurs get smashed now. 5-0.
Yeah, switch off. Has Chelsea got a penalty?
I don't know what's going on.
Have Chelsea been awarded a penalty? And I was listening to you waffling about subscribing.
Oh, what is going on?
Oh my!
Foul, filth.
Come on, there's no chance.
Anyway, to pick it up, please click subscribe. We are definitely going to try and get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of this stream. If you are watching now, not subscribed, you're filth. Please subscribe right now.
That is disgraceful.
No, you're disgraceful.
No,
Why are they checking that, man? Do you know what I mean? This is wrong.
Mate, this is a penalty.
It's wrong.
Penalty.
I've never seen a more clear-cut penalty.
Oh my God.
I tell you should have had a penalty yesterday. Bukayo Saka. See that massive Australian fellow just like bundled into him for no reason.
Would have kicked off.
I don't know. It was. We can't get to the point where there's 20 penalties a game.
Well, if there are 20 fouls in the boxer game, you certainly can.
No, it's soft.
He's a lovely player, Harry Kane.
I tell you, what a resurgence of form that Emerson Royale's had. It's unreal.
Has he become
He's like a cult hero now.
Starting
Yeah.
in City,
do you remember when that happened again? Happened for Arsenal. Remember Emmanuel Buvey?
Oh fuck! I've just said
You
that.
said he was good.
I know.
Do you remember when Buvey was like public enemy number one?
No, get on it. Get on it.
Oh, that's a
terrible
terrible
ball,
bar.
man.
Do you know what I've noticed about Joao Felix? He's become like in his very short time at Chelsea, in a very small amount of games to base this on. You can see why he has been a player that has cost so much money. You can see, you can see the quality, but then you can also see why he's a player who's on loan at Chelsea. Like he has both.
Yeah, lack of focus.
His relationship with Simeone is he just wasn't fitting in the system. He plays quite a pragmatic style out there, but they don't want to let him go. There's no option to buy, right? So,
I think we could buy if we. I don't think we haven't. I don't think it's our player, but I think if we like him and he likes it here,
£9 million for 18 games is outrageous. Like Man City wouldn't even do that.
It's grim.
Man City would
Don't
do
bring
that.
Man City into this.
Well, you wouldn't even do
Look,
that.
we can both have a go at Chelsea easily. You don't need to bring the Premier League champions into this.
No, with an asterisk.
With an asterisk, pending Premier League
champions.
champions.
No,
Yeah.
no.
If you're going to keep referring to yourself as that, we're going to keep bringing up asterisks.
Do you know that Liverpool get free Premier League trophies, and so do Manchester United? Do you know what Spurs get?
You get a Carabao Cup.
What, in 2019 when you had Ryan Mason
I take it.
on the touchline?
I'd definitely take it.
The thing
You were
is,
terrible that game.
Oh, we'd have to have an open bus
Do you know what
parade.
though? You don't get it because do you know
No, we don't get
even
it,
if you
no.
are awarded it, right?
Yeah.
Even if the worst case scenario happened for Man City and they were stripped, it's such a hollow victory that you get. Like Manchester City fans have won because they get the euphoria on the day.
Yeah, it
they
means
got the
nothing.
moment.
It means
They-
nothing
In
at all.
Italy, it's still the asterisk with Juventus. It's
Yeah,
not other sides.
But the fans that won it,
yeah.
the fans that won it won.
Yeah, it's the memory, innit?
Like
Yeah,
you know,
of course,
if somebody said to me now, Munich didn't happen for you. Chelsea didn't legitimately win the European Cup in 2012.
Yeah.
And you said it was no longer ours.
But it doesn't
Shut
matter.
up, it was mine. I felt
Yeah,
it.
and
I had the emotions.
This is the annoying thing, is that even if Manchester City do get stripped of their titles,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter because you had all the feelings.
Yeah,
Although that said, it's the most uninspiring celebrations when Man City win the league. It's like pathetic, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah, my favourite
God, this is-
favourite with Man City is when they do like, you know, when they do things at the stadium.
yeah, and there's no one
and there's
there.
like a dozen people there.
Yeah, it's like literally 6 people.
Yeah, I
turned
find
up.
that. Like, I remember that I'm sure that it's all a little bit misleading, but I saw an amazing piece of footage. There's some scaffolding up in Manchester in one particular corner that is very much in the centre of the parade when either Mancunian side wins. And when the Manchester United parade was going on, the scaffold was just taken over by fans, flares, and geezers hanging off the thing, all health and safety out the window.
Yeah,
whatever.
proper club.
When Man City were parading there, it was just a scaffold.
I know. Just a structure. Just a structure.
Just a scaffold, yeah.
Anyway, Chelsea on the ball now. Fantastic from Chelsea, knocking the ball around well.
Yeah, Koulibaly starting it puts me on edge. You know
What have you made of his season thus far?
mate.
Because on paper, great signing, right? 31.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was always going to be shrouded slightly in doubt, simply because
He's not
he was
Rudiger.
coming in. He's coming in for Rudiger,
Yeah.
and Rudiger particularly in the Tuchel system was so integral to everything good. Oh, that was a better chance than I think it made it look. Joao Felix
was
there
great-
in behind. I think he
Great
needed to
chance
score.
there. Yeah, he should have
Joao
scored.
Felix doesn't have a haircut, does he?
No, it is
Like,
enough.
he just
there's
has hair on his head.
Yeah, I understand what you're
Like,
saying.
it isn't a-
That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
it just exists.
It just happens to grow there.
He's just got
It's just
hair.
hair.
Yes, he's done nothing with
He's
it.
done nothing.
And he's fine. He's happy with it.
He hasn't done any. It's just hair on my head.
Isn't
Keep it
it?
out of my
Yeah.
eyes. Make sure it's not in my eyes.
I have to have this.
It happens. There's nothing I can do about that because it's effort. Make sure it's not in my eyes, and
Yeah.
we'll live separate
That's
lives.
exactly it.
He lives separate lives with his own hair.
Yeah, he's just not interested.
Not interested. Do you know? Yeah, I don't
this
quite
is
understand.
annoying.
That. Love
This
to
is
shoot
annoying.
straight through the middle.
Can I ask you? So I haven't watched much of Chelsea this year. Is this a good start for you?
Yeah, it's very surprising. very,
I'm saying.
very surprising. Yeah,
This is what I'm
really
saying.
good. Although, do you know what?
And how would you surmise Potter's
Bad.
No, not bad. But what
Bad.
style of play is it? Pragmatic? Is it slow? Or
I think that is the quandary.
one.
There isn't an obvious style. There isn't an obvious approach. There isn't an obvious methodology. So no, I'm slightly concerned. The other thing that is troubling for me and encouraging for you is there have been moments this season where Chelsea have started games quite well and then not won them.
Yeah.
So I thought first half against West Ham United we were very good. Went 1-0 up and ultimately finished 1-1. We didn't take a lot of chances that we had. In fact, we're very much a first half team under Potter, if that. So, I mean, us starting well now isn't quite as surprising as perhaps it should.
Well, what this starting lineup for Spurs is quite pragmatic. It's quite defensive minded. Davies and
Straight onto Eric Dyer's head.
Emerson are defensive players.
Mm.
But what we do is have options on the bench. For the first time in many, many years, we've got attacking options on the bench. We've got Porro, who we bought from Lisbon.
Did he take?
Good
Do
place
you
for-
know any truth about this? Pedro Porro took Joao Felix's girlfriend.
I think it's just a rumour. I don't think it's true. He came out and denied it.
I think it is true.
Well, okay.
I
don't think it is. I think it's...
do you know? I heard it from a really reputable source, so I'm pretty sure.
Did he
it's
get
true.
elbowed? Is that a red card check?
Oh no!
Red card check?
Don't be ridiculous.
Let's check. It needs to be checked.
Do you know about this? Pedro Porro took Joao Felix's girlfriend. I heard it from a very reputable
Who's
source.
the source?
The source is Expressions.
There's-
And he said it, and
End
everyone
of
think
debate.
No, everyone think it's true.
There is another source, which is him directly quoting and saying this didn't happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I reckon it happened.
it maybe did.
I reckon, sometimes when things like that potentially happen,
Yeah.
it's like a better story for it to have happened. So we should just agree that it.
All right, fine. It happened. Yeah. The
So now Joao Felix is going to have a bee in his bonnet and really try and score.
do you know what I see? I knew that he cleared this up. Pedro Porro cleared it up, but in my head, I was still scared of the backlash from Joao Felix, even though I know it didn't happen.
Yeah, so Joao Felix should really have like an edge in his game today.
To
You'd
If
hope
somebody
so.
took
Yeah,
your
you'd hope so.
girlfriend
You-
and then you play football against them, what are you going to do? You're going to score?
Yeah, try.
yeah, you do your best.
Kevin De Bruyne did
I
that
don't want
against
you to do your
Courtois.
best. I don't want you to do your
That's
best.
right.
I would just want delivery. I'm not. You're sounding very Graham Potter.
Yeah.
We'll do our best. We'll try very hard. Not interested.
I think you're being
Chelsea
very
manager,
harsh
win.
on someone who's a very nice guy, holistic in his
Don't care.
approach.
Like, none of these words mean
he's
anything
Done
to
a
me.
lot of great things
What I've
in the
known
game.
about Rory over the years, he just makes up his mind about a manager and then he'll just stick with it forever. Like Lampard was an absolute joke as a manager.
Whoa. Don't come on this show and do that. Seriously, that's a yellow card.
What?
Elliot, Jack, I'm serious. If Flav does that one more time, Flav needs to leave.
What is it that I've done
You
wrong?
cannot slander Frank Lampard. I won't allow it.
I'd say maybe he didn't achieve what he could have achieved at Chelsea.
What could he have achieved?
Well, not a lot because he's not a very good manager. But I've missed my point now because you throw.
Wait, what do you mean? I've missed you. I've done
You
nothing.
you
forgot your own point because you're on the attack and then you tried to blame me for it. It couldn't be less to do with me.
Oh, Richarlison, I don't rate him. Just
No, 60 mil you spent on
a
him.
lot.
60.
Well, look, did we? Because you got the way the deal structured.
It's
probably
funny,
wasn't
isn't
that
it?
much.
You've got like Brazil's number 9 up front, and you're not happy. You've got England's strike. You've got England's number 9 and Brazil's number 9.
I think Richarlison says a lot about where football is. Him and Anthony are the kind of
A lot of money
the
for both
figureheads
players.
of Brazilian football. Maybe it says a lot
I don't
about
think-
Brazilian football.
hang on,
I
I don't
mean,
think they
where
are.
are the
And-
talents?
Hang on, I don't think they are. I mean, Neymar.
No, you just said it. You're right because he's number 9 for.
No, but
for
he is a
Brazil.
number 9 though.
Anthony is 100 million Brazilian winger, 100 million pound
I
Brazilian
don't think
winger.
it's a statement on
We're
football.
talking 15 years ago. That was Ronaldinho.
It might be a statement on Brazilian
Adriano,
football.
and now
No,
we're
but
talking about Richarlison.
It would be, in my opinion, it should be Gabriel Jesus and
Yeah, but
Neymar.
even then, he's not a flashy player. Neymar's, past it as well. So
Neymar's not past anything.
all I'm trying to say, I
Gabriel
think.
Jesus is
Oh,
the
no.
figurehead.
See what I mean?
Greedy, Kane, greedy.
I think there's a lack of really
Go on, Hakim.
skillful players in world football.
Go on. Hakim Ziyech scored a wonderful goal against Tottenham a couple of years ago. It's one of the best
yeah,
goals.
yeah.
Or
No, for Chelsea, he whips it in. He hit it with his left foot, but it went in the opposite corner. You know when it curls out.
when he
Useful
played against Ajax,
whip on the ball.
he was unplayable over 2 legs.
He played very well against us. We drew 4-4 at Stamford Bridge. He had a very good game.
Yeah.
By the way, boys, we have a tremendous super chat to put up right now on screen. Love seeing Flav on the show. Usually bump into him at Fleet Services, but this is even better.
How
What are you
often are
doing
you
at
at
Fleet-
service
yeah,
day? How
Fleet
often are you
Ser-
at Fleet Services?
What goes on at Fleet Services?
Why are you there that often?
That's very strange.
You regularly bump into the same
Tuesday
person.
night at
Do you
Fleet
know-
Services.
Do you know what? Do you know
Mate,
what goes
do you know
on
what
at Fleet
goes on
Services?
I don't wanna know.
I know what goes on at some service stations.
Do you know what goes on at Fleet Services? Do you guys know what is? Or,
No.
I can't explain.
You have to.
I
But
can't.
don't
Well,
swear.
Maybe you're not allowed to
or- what is
explain.
it?
Yeah, don't describe.
What is this a family
happens.
show?
Yeah, don't
yeah.
describe what I don't
What
want to know. Actually, I don't want to know.
Well, man,
I've had a roast
think I
dinner. It might
already know.
upset my
I can't
stomach.
believe you've had a
It might
roast
upset my
dinner.
stomach.
You're like that big West Ham fan who eats breakfast at weird times. He goes. Look, it's not even.
I'm
2 o'clock yet.
streaming 6 hours of you today. I've got to have something in my stomach to line my stomach.
Mate, you've got to eat.
All-
You've got to eat.
All I'm saying is, if you see me at Fleet Services, you know what's up.
Why do you go to Fleet
does that
Services
mean?
so often?
Just there's a lot going on there. A lot
Is
of
it
action.
is it the same sort of thing as what goes on Hampstead Heath?
Yeah,
Yeah,
George
more or
Michael and
less,
all that.
yeah.
George
What's
Michael's
your
found
problem
in
with
a-
that?
Nothing.
No, nothing.
Nothing. You've got
I
to
just
express
wondered
yourself.
if that's what it was.
Everyone's enjoying themselves, aren't they?
Fast
Everyone's
love,
family
part two
fun.
and all that, isn't it? Fast love,
Bit
part
of family fun.
Fast love. Did somebody? Hang on a minute.
Someone paid for that. Yeah.
Somebody, did I just see some slander about Frank Lampard on this show?
Yes, you did.
Well,
I'll put
give
it back
it-
up
give
for
it-
you.
well,
I'll put
go
it back
on.
up for you.
Elliot, you hateful man. That means you've chosen to put that up on screen.
They've
you didn't need
paid
to
money.
do that.
They've paid money for a comment.
I don't want it anywhere near. Do you know there are some things? I think everybody in football. Everybody in football is allowed a blind spot. Okay, everybody is allowed their one thing that they just won't tolerate. And mine is Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard is my blind spot. I'm like a Range Rover.
Well,
Do you know
accept-
Range
Rory,
Rover?
Do you
Big
accept
mind.
this one then? Because someone's paid for this one as well.
I paid for
Rory
this.
looks like Dolores Umbridge.
Who is that?
I don't know that.
You get that
I need to
reference?
see-
I don't get that reference.
No, I need to know though.
Did someone put an image up on
Dolores.
I'll get a picture
She
of
was
it.
in Sister
Yeah.
Act.
No, she was in Harry Potter.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Mate, of course mate, do you know when I see adults reading Harry Potter, I immediately think they're so peculiar. If you're an adult and you get on a tube and you start reading Harry Potter,
Show me the picture,
expect
please.
a side eye
Show me
from
the
me.
picture, please, lads. I need to see the picture.
Oh, yeah, he does. He does.
Take the jumper off.
It's the exact same
Take the
haircut.
jumper off.
Oh my god.
Jumper's off.
Yeah,
Absolutely
Dolores
outrageous.
Uxbridge. Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
she does the whole the wizard stuff really
Hey,
well.
mate, don't you jump on this.
She goes,
Oh, Harry Maguire on the left here. Started
Yeah.
telling me
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, look. Harry Maguire's on
Dolores
the show.
Uxbridge from
Mate, we've
Harry
got- we've
Potter
got
and
an
the
England
Slithering
international.
Snake, whatever it is.
Delighted to welcome the Manchester United captain onto the show today. Welcome to Mr. Harry Maguire. Thank you so much.
If you play 11 aside, you're definitely centre back, aren't you?
No comment.
You are.
I'm too naturally
Quite
gifted on the
nifty.
ball to be a
You
centre
are.
half.
You are a very
Oh,
good
but
footballer.
Lots of nifty.
Yeah, a little.
Well, we won trophies, didn't we? We've won a trophy together.
Are you bringing that up? Are you?
That was a fantastic a part of my life.
Mate, the day that you and I Well, mate, I was scoring goals that day. Keep you in it.
Mate, you're like Inzaghi, mate. He came out with all sorts of little finishes.
Mate,
I've never even
scored,
like it.
We scored all of our goal scorers that day. I scored, you scored, Elliot scored, Adam scored. Who else scored?
No one else. It was just us, wasn't it?
It's a great
'cause-
day.
yeah, what a
Do you
day that
remember
was.
Flav in goal that day when he got really upset with Elliot?
Did you get?
Got upset with Elliot because Elliot, she was the worst passage of sportsmanship I've ever. I get flustered talking about it.
yeah. When
I'm so angry.
They call that shithousery.
It was amazing.
Yeah, but he's not. You don't,
you get the ball.
Don't be so
You got
proud
the
of it.
ball.
Why are you so proud of it?
Flav, just to let everyone know what happened, we were playing in a football tournament. Flav was in goal for the opposition in a very tight final. A free kick was awarded. Flav went and got the ball, handed it to Elliot
This is for charity, right?
for charity, and Elliot took the free kick and scored before Flav was back in.
And then, do you know what he did? I was like, Elliot, what's that about? And he just did this. I was like, this is outrageous.
We had to win though. We had to win. The pressure.
You know
was on.
what? I'm like the least competitive person in the world. When we got through that semi-final, I was thinking, fuck.
I think
you didn't want to get through.
I think you're very competitive, but then you layer it under uncompetitiveness.
No,
I think
I'm
you're
not.
very, very competitive.
Mate,
When
that
we
is-
started winning,
I think
I was
the most
really
competitive
upset.
people say they're not competitive.
I'm not competitive. I promise
I'm
you.
that's
so
so funny.
competitive that I go on top of the uncompetitiveness. Then on top of that, I'm competitive. So I'm double competitive. That's how I'm competitive.
No, I admit to being competitive.
Yeah, I'm awful.
I
I'm
admit
an
to
awful
be,
person, really.
I admit to being competitive.
That was a great
literally
day.
couldn't care less about winning the five-a-side competition.
Honestly, I had to.
No, I really cared that day.
Clearly you cared.
Mate, we were playing football.
It was actually borderline pathetic.
because you know what? We were playing football. We were playing football in front of a professional footballer. We were playing football in front of Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer.
And do you know what? Do you know what I choose to believe?
I didn't
Do
care
you know what
about
I choose to believe, Flav? I don't know whether I kind of.
Silver's going off.
I kind of admit that this isn't true, but I'm allowed to have fantasies, aren't I? I'm allowed to have like little dreams. And one of my dreams is that when I play football, I'm going to get spotted and somehow I'm going to score for. Yeah, still. I will never let that dream die. And particularly where I play on a Friday, there's a Tesco supermarket at one end. So we defend the Tesco end. If I'm shooting towards the Tesco end, anybody could be going shopping. Like in theory, Alex Ferguson needs a pack of chewing gum, right?
Yeah.
So Alex Ferguson could be going into that Tesco to get some Wrigley's.
Yeah.
I need to be playing well because he could walk by and he could go, Wouty Weghorst is not doing the business. I've just seen a kid.
Yeah.
I've just seen a kid on Old Street who's fucking brilliant. Hello, Eric. I've got the answer. Wouty isn't the man. I found him.
Yeah.
So therefore, I need to be
I know what you
always
mean.
on my
I
game.
know what you mean.
Do you still believe that
Yeah,
you're
I
going to
do.
score for Man
I-
City in an FA Cup final?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I will never let that dream die.
Oh, that was it.
Is that Koulibaly done him?
No,
Oh,
no.
no, it's Kane.
What, can I ask a question?
Yeah, you may.
Is Fofana a massive downgrade on Thiago Silva?
Everybody is a massive downgrade on Thiago
Right.
Silva. Everybody is a massive downgrade on Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva is our best player.
Really?
He's certainly our best player of players that play regularly.
Give it.
Joao. Yeah.
Straight at him.
Do you see what I mean? With
Straight at him.
he's got all of the attributes that show you why he's so coveted and all of the attributes that show you why he's ultimately gone out on loan.
Yep.
He has it all in the same move. Look, carries the ball well, creates a space, and then passes it back to the goalkeeper.
Should have done better.
You know, his finishing, for somebody who is obviously such a good player, his eye for a goal.
You're talking him into a wonder strike here. Go on, just get off. You're talking him into. You know it's going to happen.
Yeah, I hope so. Thiago
what-
Silva going off is really bad news.
Go on, tell me exactly how it feels. Go on.
I mean, Thiago Silva is our most important player. You know,
Red?
I'm not even joking here, Flav. This is the biggest thing I can say about him. You know, at various points in my life, if you and I had ever spoken about a Chelsea best 11 ever,
Yeah.
it would have just kind of gone Terry Carvalho at the back.
Yeah.
Like without any...
What he may get a foot in.
Yeah.
He's better than Carvalho.
Unreal. For his age, he doesn't look like it. How
Like
old is he?
Carvalho
36?
was...
Is he
I
36?
think he's 37 now.
He doesn't look like it.
No, he looks after himself very well.
He's close to 38, isn't it? It's even older than
38, yeah.
And the reason why he's going off is nothing to do with his age. He just got
No,
clapped.
he got clattered.
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a player.
So Fofana on. Lucky Fofana's return to fitness has come just at the right time then. At least there's
Yeah,
a like
bad
for
one,
like.
didn't he? Yeah, a bad one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Fofana's made a Weetabix, the guy. He's
Yeah.
as brittle as anything.
He is crumbly.
So what you're saying, Niki got injured as well?
There's a chance. There's a world he gets injured today.
Good. Let's hear it. I mean, I'll never wish injury on a player, but
Well, it sounds
if
like
it
you just
benefits, well, if it benefits Spurs, then yeah. Good.
Yeah, this isn't ideal at all. But do you know what? Maybe now Graham Potter goes, do you know what? We'll take the draw. And I take the draw. I can't believe I'm saying this about Tottenham.
Oh no, you beat these.
No.
They're terrible.
No.
And the biggest sin for me about Tottenham is all right. Not everyone can be Man City. I get it. The billions, or even Chelsea or Man United have spent a lot of money. You know, Spurs are a little bit below that. I get that, but they're so boring. They're so boring. I mean, that's the biggest sin. Go out and sign 6, 7 young, exciting players, get an exciting manager, but they're dross.
Who are you talking about? Spurs?
Spurs, yeah,
No,
dross.
good.
And that's the biggest sin for me. That's the biggest sin.
And do you know what? You know when people say that it's the manager? Like I think people are very unfair to Antonio Conte. You know when they start talking about his defensive
recruitment.
nature and all that. Like obviously it's true to a degree, but some of Chelsea's best, like some of Chelsea's most electric form, some of Chelsea's like best performances. In fact, you know, obviously John Motson died. John Motson, I heard, obviously I was reading quite a lot about him and his life and whatever. Do you know the best performance that he said he had ever seen? Did you read that recently?
No, I didn't know.
John Motson's best performance that he had ever seen with his own eyes, bearing in mind his career spanned, 40, 50 years. The best performance he ever saw was Chelsea versus Everton at Stamford Bridge. We beat them 5-0. And he said that is the most complete performance I've ever seen.
Wow.
And that was
What year is
Antonio
that,
Conte.
sorry? Oh, Conte,
That was
yeah,
Antonio
yeah,
Conte.
yeah.
We beat Everton
wow.
5-0. Eden Hazard was amazing. We were scoring goals for fun. You know, Willian, it was just a really,
With the right
really good team.
tools, Conte will play attractive football. He played possession-based football when he was at Inter Milan, won the league that way.
Yeah.
So it's just, and you're right. I think the recruitment at Spurs has probably left him in a position where he thinks that this is the best way for us to win.
And excuse me, God, I was so passionate about slating Eric Dyer that I nearly killed myself. When you give him Ben Davies and Eric Dyer and Emerson Royale, he probably looks at it and goes, do you know what? We're going to have to defend here because...
We have to defend our weakest area.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
everyone's going to have to play a bit deeper because we've got these clowns.
It's like
at the back.
Southgate with
listen,
three at the back. You have to protect your weaknesses.
This is why some of the frustrations now for Daniel Levy are becoming significant is because 4 years ago under Mourinho, 4 years ago against Newcastle, he had a back line that included Sanchez, Dyer and Tanganga. Started a game against Newcastle. And even then we were going, well, that's an awful back line. All three have started games for in the same team this season.
Yeah.
So
So you're talking 3 years ago, different manager, and it's still...
And
the same problem.
Newcastle's a great shout because look who Trippier comes in.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Trippier. They've signed Botman, who would have been
Fit for you.
Yeah.
And
Do
he's
you
a
want him to stay,
long-term...
Flav? Do you want Antonio Conte to be Tottenham manager next season?
I want stability. I don't want to have to keep flitting around and changing managers. I want Conte to commit to Tottenham and let's just see what happens. Right, that's what I want. That's if I had to choose anything, that would be it. But he hasn't signed a new contract. At the end of the season, there's going to be a conversation about whether Tottenham want to renew it or he wants to renew. He's got a 1 year option at the end of the year, but obviously both parties have to be agree to that. I think he's checked out a little bit. This gallbladder operation came on the back of terrible, losing significant people in his life all season. And it feels like he's a little bit drained. And I don't blame him for that. And I don't blame him for needing this break, this 8-week break, reportedly. 8-week break, he's not at Spurs. Because...
Is he still at Spurs? So, obviously, Stellini's doing this.
Yeah.
But so through the week at training...
He's not there. No, he's not there.
So the manager at the moment is Stellini?
Effectively, yeah. Although Stellini and Conte is picking the team and working with...
Is that weirdly a potentially good thing? Like in the short term?
There's an argument that Spurs are more relaxed. You could say that Spurs are more relaxed.
That's a foul, sure.
Yeah, that is a foul. More relaxed without him there. It's like when the manager isn't around, the atmosphere is probably a little bit more relaxed. But I don't know what significance that is to our performance.
So come let's say August the 15th, for example.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be at Tottenham as manager? Is it Conte on another year because of the experience and you gamble with him, or is it?
If Conte was signed for 3 years, then I'd say Conte. I don't think he will. What I want isn't going to happen. So what I think.
So what you want is Conte. What you want is a committed Conte.
Yes.
He's in behind here. He's done really well.
Wow.
Oh, that's good defending.
Yeah.
God.
Good pace.
What I want is a committed Conte and someone who's going to get backed and insist on getting backed. And I think ultimately, in the long run, he will come good for Spurs because he's come good for everybody. Just got to give him what he needs, which is loads of money and loads of players. But what I think will happen is he will go and Pochettino will come back.
You really?
Wow.
I think that's what's going to happen.
And how do you feel about that?
I just want stability. I want him to stick around for 4 years, sign a 5-year deal, and we'll just see what happens. Look, you can look at what happened at Arsenal with Arteta. As much as I hate it, they've just given him time and room to breathe, and it's rare. And he's had 4 years.
If Antonio Conte does leave, like let's just say that one happens because it is looking the more likely. Is Pochettino your first choice?
Sorry. Is he is the only option? Like, who else?
No, he's not the only option.
I think he is the only
Luis
option.
Enrique is an
No,
option. Like,
that's
there are
not
lots.
right.
No,
Luis Enrique is going to need a Conte.
By that point, Graham Potter could be an option. Like, I don't think it's.
I think at one point-
it's too much of an easy get out. I
think at one point-
I know what you're trying to
Can't
say.
just go as the only option.
I want
because he's literally
Pochettino.
not
I
there.
want Pochettino. Yeah. If it isn't Conte, let's just get him back.
What about somebody like Thomas Frank?
It's just a bit weird, isn't he?
He's very good.
Would he go there?
He's very good.
Would he leave Brentford?
I think
for
you
Tottenham?
have to. Of course, he.
Yeah, I think he would. I think that just Pochettino knows. He knows us, right? It's like there's no bedding in period, and he's got a squad now. What you got to remember, right, is that when he got sacked from Tottenham, we had to rebuild the squad, right, because we hadn't bought a player in 3 windows, right? That's fine. So we bring in Lo Celso and then Ndombele. Those are the 2 main transfers that we bring in.
But at the time, it's all very well calling it crazy, Booth. At the time, Tottenham, we say that Levy doesn't spend enough money and that Joe Lewis is a little bit too tight with the purse strings. But at the time, they broke their own transfer.
Yeah, 60 mil.
They broke their own transfer record twice in the same summer. So they bought in Lo Celso, then they bought in Ndombele and everybody else. By the way, you and I were working together at that point. I remember, I didn't know much about Ndombele. I wouldn't even pretend that I did. But some of our colleagues at the time where we were working were all going, Ndombele is the main man and Ndombele is the guy.
He'd rip Man City in the Champions League. He's like a Yaya Toure, Mark II. He's unbelievable. So it's not to say, Spurs could have predicted that he was going to flop in the Premier League. He obviously didn't settle very well. He's done well since leaving Spurs on loan.
He's done all right. I've spoken to a Napoli fan, a good friend of mine, and they said there's no chance that he'll be coming back. He's played about 40% of their games, but a lot of it's off the bench. They say the exact same things about him that we did, is that he has all the talent in the world. And I still think that. I still think his ceiling is high. But there's just something going on.
What I said was crazy for me. I'm not saying, again, you can go out and spend 100 million on fullbacks every transfer window. I'm not saying that. But those 3 windows where you could have, Daniel Levy, it's not you, it's Daniel Levy could have backed Pochettino.
Yeah, well, we were building the stadium.
One Premier League quality fullback here, one midfielder.
They could have won the league.
Yeah, after like 2016 Leicester.
3 windows. You've just said casually, and it's the matter of fact, 3 windows for one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Didn't they sign a keeper? Like, they only signed a keeper in one window, wasn't it?
With Galini maybe on a free, but I've talked about this so much that it's like a footnote now. It's crazy, but we're spending £1 billion on a stadium. It was just we weren't going to be able to do both things, and they chose that.
But it's not even about £100 million. Oh wow!
Oh! Hit the post.
Wow!
He scored against us earlier this year, I think.
Oh mate,
he's got it in the locker.
So okay. Overall, let's assume that he's going to go Conte. Pochettino is just to play devil's advocate. I don't even necessarily think this, but let's just have the conversation, Flav.
What? Sorry, mate. Yeah.
Is there anything in the fact that the best team that Tottenham have had in the Premier League era, like Dele Alli looking like one of the best in his position in the world at the time, playing behind Harry Kane, who looked like one of the best in his position in the world at the time. Heung-min Son looking great. Christian Eriksen doing the business.
Yeah.
Pochettino didn't get that team to win. Is there anything in you that thinks he's never going to get a better chance than that, and therefore he isn't the right option?
Who does win at Spurs? It doesn't matter.
They didn't think like that.
No, but in the hypothetical of that...
Well, no, because we've done Conte gets over the line.
No, but Flav, in the hypothetical of that, you go, who does win? What we have knowledge on is that Pochettino doesn't. So
we won't win with Daniel Levy as a chairman of the football club. That's the.
Is that going to change? Because
No,
on a business level, he's done a very good job.
They're trying to sell.
No, incredible job. Don't get me wrong. Like,
exactly.
He's done incredible work, and he's built Spurs up to be significant. Like I said, 5th richest club in world football. But he doesn't behave. He's not as ambitious. He's ambitious in business, but he's not as ambitious in football. And the sort of nail in the coffin for me was when he was talking about regulation. He's waiting for regulation, then Spurs will be able to compete. That's not an exciting thing to hear.
Do you know what's quite interesting as well? You know, when you say that he is competitive in a business sense, but not necessarily in a footballing sense.
He's not aggressive.
If that was strictly true, surely it would make business sense to sell Harry Kane when you get the opportunity to sell it, even for 75 million.
But you can't sell Harry Kane if you haven't invested in other areas of the pitch. He's the man.
Yeah, keeps you in Champions League contention and all that.
Yeah. That £75 million could be spent on Darwin Núñez, who, while he's okay and he's starting to come into form.
Cucurella and Jed Spence cost more than 75 million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've had a big super chat, boys.
How
from
big?
Daniel Kirk. Oh, well, £20, but he's also
Huge.
put £5 in already, I think.
Jesus.
We'll put it to Flav. Thoughts on Tim Sherwood saying Pedro Porro wasn't that good for Benfica? Absolute clown.
Yeah, I mean, well, what do you want me to say about Tim Sherwood? He's
a Tottenham icon, right? Tottenham legend.
No, he's not a
Tottenham
Tottenham
legend.
He's a legend.
What are you on
He's a
about?
legend
He's a
of the
legend.
club.
He's a
Mate,
legend.
20 grand
Jamie
on the question.
O'Hara
Can I
is a
answer that first?
Jamie O'Hara, Jermaine Jenas. These are people who portray themselves.
Yeah,
Tim Sherwood
yeah.
did more for the club than them.
Let me answer the question. But he didn't play for Benfica. Tim Sherwood doesn't know his arse from his elbow, and no, he's not a Tottenham legend. He does have in his own words, the second best win percentage of any Tottenham manager, bar none. He said, or something like that. Yeah, but no, he wasn't. He's as the guy says, he's a clown.
Is he not popular at Tottenham? Sherwood?
No.
I thought he's iconic.
I thought he was a legend.
Why?
He's a main
I
man.
don't
He's a legend.
His little gilets and all
Because
that.
he obviously won a Premier League with
Little-
Blackburn Rovers, and then he goes to, he's
A little gilet.
What I don't understand is what your motive
Jermaine
is here.
Jenas.
What-
Jermaine Jenas is your main man.
But what are you trying to get?
Jamie O'Hara is your main man. I want to know who the
Jermaine
Tottenham
Genius
icons
is a
are.
Forest fan as well.
He's Tottenham's main man. Tottenham's main man in the media.
Tottenham main man. He hates us. Every time he talks about Spurs, he bloody
Except
hates us.
Ledley King, who is the icon for you that gets wheeled out in a cup final?
Sheringham, innit?
Oh,
But he's
no,
Man
it's
United.
not,
He went to Man
it's
United.
no, not for me. It's not Sheringham. It's Ledley King, probably.
Is it Kudicini when you left Chelsea? Carlo Kudicini.
Yeah, Idaho Johnson.
What are you getting at, boys? That we don't have any icons?
Who is your icon of the modern
I'm
era?
not even joking.
Like, if
Harry
I
Kane.
say who is
No,
the
no,
Tottenham-
accept him.
Who
He's
is
still
the Tottenham
playing.
icon?
He's still playing.
Like, and you can't say Danny Blanchflower or Jimmy Greaves.
No,
Who is it?
I get the remit.
Jermaine Defoe.
No, it's just Ledley King.
No, I said you can't say that though. If it's not
Oh,
him,
right. I've got to choose another one.
yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
the first one after that.
Who's the first one after that? Now it's Tim Sherwood.
There are many.
Steve Marbronk. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Back
You've got a bit of the Malbronx about you as well.
This is how far we've come, yeah? Steve Marbronk was rumoured to City for 8 million quid back in the day. That was, I remember going
From
up to all
where?
my
Fulham?
mates.
From Fulham, yeah.
Fulham. He went to Spurs instead, I think it was.
There's a lot of
I
shouts
was
in the chat,
gassed.
boys, for Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane. It's not bad.
Well,
not bad.
he's not, you know.
No, but I'd say more of a Wolverhampton Wanderers man.
Inter Milan
We're
fan.
Coventry City
You're
man.
just saying stuff now.
More of a
It doesn't even make
Liverpool
any
man
sense.
and a Tottenham man.
LA Galaxy.
Did
Hey,
wonders
Flav,
for LA
do
Galaxy.
you know what was interesting
What I
there, what you were
still
saying?
don't understand is this bit that we're doing right now? Is this just
This is
Spurs
what we've
don't-
got. This is all we've got.
Spurs don't have legends. Is
No,
that
we
This
just
is an
like-
ad
we
read.
just
This
like
is an ad read
mock-
right now.
we
We're
just
doing
like
an ad
mocking
read right
you.
now. Make sure
Yeah.
you check up on SpursHaveGotNoLegends.com. They provide a fantastic service. It's the quickest on the internet of its kind. Okay, SpursHaveGotNoLegends.com.
Yeah, like if Tottenham had NordVPN installed, there'd be no Chelsea fans in that stadium. They wouldn't be able to get through.
Do you know what I wanted to say, Flav? You know when we were talking about Levy and what's going on at Tottenham, whatever, we were talking about Conte. Harry Kane feels like it's the perennial question. When the season starts in Buvey's arbitrary date of August the 15th, is Harry Kane a Tottenham player? He's having a drink. He's really pondering. Look, he's really Look, he's giving this the due diligence that it deserves.
Yes, he is. And not only that, I think he's going to sign a new contract as well.
With who?
With
Oh,
Tottenham.
with Tottenham, right.
R.I.P. his
That's
career.
weird.
Well, look, it depends on...
I think
You-
ultimately we should do a minute silence for Harry Kane's
Yeah.
career if that
You-
happens.
well, you-
We do it on the stream, lads. If you're watching at home and you want to do a minute silence for Harry Kane's career when he signs a contract, make sure you check out the stream. We'll be going live for that. A
Yeah.
minute silence for Harry Kane's career. He will end up with 0 trophies.
Yeah.
0.
Also,
trophies.
he doesn't stay at Tottenham. I'm just convinced now that even Daniel Levy must go, oh, this poor geezer. Sorry.
I don't think he
Sorry,
does. I think
Harry.
he enjoys it on some level.
Yeah,
What, he's
I think
just
he enjoys
some
it.
spiteful
Yeah, of course he is.
sadist.
Of course.
Yeah. Shouldn't have signed the 6-year deal, should you?
That was terrible business.
Yeah,
from
well,
him, his
that's what
agent.
happens when you
brother,
employ...
innit?
Yeah, you don't have a proper agent and you...
Do you know I
sign
met
up-
Harry Kane quite recently?
What's he like?
Really nice.
Yeah, I
Annoyingly nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a gentleman. But you think
his
that he
thoughts?
stays at Tottenham and you think that he signs a new contract at Tottenham. So he finishes his career there.
So what the option is Manchester United, right? That seems like the logical
I think
thing.
the option is... Can I ask him, Buvey, obviously you're very
Oh.
well equipped to answer this. Is the Manchester City pursuit of
Do you see what
Kane
Kane just did?
over? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1,000,000% over.
Why would it be over though? He's still a brilliant player. He still brings something that to Man City.
We got 2 strikers.
Man City.
Yeah, well, no, they've
Yeah,
got
it's
Haaland,
over,
right?
Royce.
They made the choice. It was Haaland
It's
or
over.
Kane.
Is it?
And what,
Yeah, it's
do you know,
miles over.
Do you know part of the reason why he stays at Tottenham is Manchester United can buy Osimhen, who is young, who is brilliant. Kane, essentially buying Kane for 2 or 3 seasons, probably.
No.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's 2 or 3 seasons. I think it's probably 4 or 5 seasons.
It's 2 or 3 if he gets injured.
He's 31 now.
Well, that's 2 or 3 if anyone gets injured, though, isn't it?
No, but
it's
some players
it's
can
2
bounce
games
back.
if they get injured.
He's got chronic ankle injuries.
He doesn't. It's
He
a
doesn't.
bit of a myth.
It's a bit of a myth.
Mate.
It is.
Look
He
at
has-
the
he
data.
has had
It's a
lots-
myth. Look at the data, mate.
What's
Take
the
a leaf
data?
out of my book.
He's had a major
Look at
injury
the
every year
data.
for the last 5 years.
It's a myth,
Oh.
honestly, mate.
Oh.
It's a complete myth. The other thing with Kane is he's a player not incomparable to Teddy Sheringham, who plays in a position and plays in a particular way where getting older won't necessarily hamper his footballing
Yeah,
ability.
he probably will adapt, to be fair, yeah. But
And think about it. Teddy Sheringham went to Manchester United at 31, didn't win a trophy in his first year, won a treble in his second year. It could easily do that. And didn't Teddy Sheringham go back to Tottenham?
yeah.
You could do that.
I don't
Kane-
want, I know if he goes, he goes. That's it. I mean, I don't want
But
him
he
back.
already wanted to go, so he told you that he thinks of you. He's already tried to leave.
I know.
And you have no principle because you pretend that you love him still.
No.
embarrassing.
We did have a difficult. we did have.
No,
a
it is embarrassing.
We had. Sometimes if the missus cheats on you or wants to look down, and there's this big, rich geezer who drives a Ferrari, and she's like, if she's
Buvey, basically.
Yeah,
Buvey.
Yeah,
There's this rich guy down there.
If my missus's head is turned by Buvey, I can understand that. I understand it. He's a strapping
Harry
lad.
Kane, right?
Yeah, but it's different.
He's
It's
29
different if
years
you're-
old.
Yeah.
29 years old.
Yeah.
It's not old at all. He's got
how
5
old is he now?
years.
29?
29.
Oh, I thought he was
Lewandowski's doing it at 34.
He's got 5 years
Yeah.
guaranteed at the top. And then you start factoring in the way that he plays the game. And I think that he could
Yeah.
even have longer.
If you sign him for 100 million quid, that's what's going to take it. About 100 million quid. That's what? Yes, 20 million a season for
great
the best
value.
striker in world football.
It's great value.
It's unbelievable.
But
It's not
why
as
I'm
good value as
saying, why
Osimhen,
is
though,
it-
is it?
It is.
It is.
Why? 'Cause he's proven Premier League.
Osman's, and plus
Premier League.
Osman's hard to deal with.
And
because
Harry
Napoli,
Kane's been doing it for a decade. And Osimhen, I don't know how long he's been doing it for, to be honest. But
one season.
A couple of seasons. Yeah,
there you go. They
They spent big money on him from France, I think. Napoli's.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, look, I just think he's fans at Spurs. He's sort of settled now, and the interesting bit is that he's become an ambassador for AIA, which is our long-term sponsor, and will continue to be our long-term sponsor.
Yeah, but they don't care who he plays for. They'll sign him up regardless.
I mean, that is a school of thought.
Do you regret the idea that he's going to retire with 0 trophies? Because someone as good as that
Great, I don't
should
care.
have a Premier League
He's
title.
He's got untold wealth. I'm sure he'll be fine.
we're
You
talking about the
don't
sport-
have
we're talking
untold
about
wealth wherever he
We're
lives.
talking about the sporting legacy of arguably the greatest striker to ever come out.
Yeah,
of the
look,
country,
I get that.
He's won
but I
nothing.
don't want him to go win it with someone else. I'd rather he win nothing with us than go somewhere else and win.
That's spiteful.
I don't care.
That's like Daniel Levy.
No, but that's a football fan. I found it really weird. You know the mentality that isn't that. It's even weirder to me.
Yeah.
I remember talking to Craig Mitch about it once, and obviously I like and rate Craig, but I was talking to Craig, and Craig was like, "I just want him to leave. He deserves so much better than us."
No,
and I was just
no,
like, "Craig, that's
that's
just not how football fans
Yeah, but
think."
I had-
Apart from I've never heard anyone say that.
when Sean Wright Phillips at Man City went to Chelsea.
Yeah,
and
you
he was
didn't want
guaranteed
that.
to win. I didn't want it because I loved the guy. He was my hero growing up, Sean Wright Phillips. But there was a part of me that thought he's actually going to go on and play. He obviously didn't do it, unfortunately, because of Mourinho's system, etc. But I thought this guy's going to go on
because
to
of
the
his
level
ability.
that he
He
deserved.
didn't do it, but he didn't do it
He was
because
playing
of
with
his
Danny,
ability.
Danny Mills behind him.
It was nothing to do with Mourinho's system. He didn't do it because of his.
No,
own
you
ability.
could have argued in his prime, Sean Wright Phillips, he could have done better for a different manager that wasn't as negative.
I
He
don't
just
wanna
wasn't
put
as
the-
good as Duff and Robin and Joe.
I don't care about the betterment of
No, I don't
other
either. I'm
football.
with you,
just
Flav. I
care
don't
about
care.
Spurs. I couldn't care less about anything else.
Yeah,
Like when Gareth Bale left us, I didn't go, "Oh, good for him."
No.
I was like, "Rat."
Yeah, I love the tribalism. I love it
Yeah.
because also it's so idiotic,
Same with Modric.
but it's correct.
It is correct.
Yeah, pettiness in football. I'm all about the
That's
pettiness in
lifeblood.
football.
It's the lifeblood of it, pettiness.
Yeah, I'm all about the life. Do you know what? I've been offered to play. Where's my phone? I'll show you some hilarious messages. Right, I've been offered to play on Stamford Bridge pitch,
Yeah.
and in my group, I've got a lot of QPR fans in my WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Put it in. I said, "Oh look, I'm going to be playing at Stamford Bridge with a bit of luck." My one mate went, "I wouldn't do that. I would never do that." I was like, "Okay, firstly, you're not invited, so don't worry about it." but secondly, what are you talking about? He went, "You should never." He's like, "I'd rather be sick than." Oh, he went, "I would be sick if I went out onto Stamford Bridge
What,
for
as a
any
QPR
reason."
fan?
Yeah, as a QPR.
I understand.
He's like,
Would you play at Loftus Road then?
I have.
Oh, you have.
I
Right?
have. I've scored there. I've scored a header there.
I
Can you
got
believe
off-
that?
I got off
It's my only header. I hate heading the ball. It hurt. I don't understand why anyone would do it. You know when I play 11 aside, which is rare. You know when there's a goal kick, I'm standing there waiting for it, and I'm just thinking, please kick it the other side. Please, God,
I
kick
don't
it the
want
other
to challenge
side. I
this.
do not want to
I
head
have to. I have to, as a man, challenge.
Mate, I have to jump, but please win it. Look, I make an agreement with the winger. I'm just like, look, if you want it, you can have it. Just let me compete.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've? Do you know how I scored a header at Loftus Road? It was so good. Cross came in, and everyone in the area has missed it. And I was coming in from the fullback. It bounced, and as it came back up from the bounce, I just sort of headed it in. So it wasn't even a full header, but I have scored in front of the loft. But yeah, of course I would. I'd play at Tottenham. I'd love to play at Tottenham.
I got asked to play in a game.
They saw your goalkeeping performance from that thing that we did.
I don't know what it was.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because your goalkeeping performance was amazing.
I thought I did all right.
No, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they saw you. Maybe you were scouted. You know what we were saying earlier in the show?
You're being unkind. But I don't.
I'm not. I'm being genuine.
You're not. But
Actually, no, I wouldn't play at the Memorial Ground. The Memorial Ground there is terrible, absolutely terrible. In Bristol Rovers ground.
Well, that's where you draw the
They
line.
got tents as stands. Do you know that? That's embarrassing.
No, you'd play there though.
I wouldn't play there.
You're better than that.
I wouldn't play at the Memorial.
Mate, you'd play it. If so Bristol
No.
Rovers,
Nope.
for some reason,
Nope.
we have the opportunity to go and play at Bristol Rovers.
Nope.
You're not going to come.
Nope.
See, this is the pettiness.
Well,
I love in
I
football.
didn't actually do it.
They got
I
tents
didn't.
as stands.
I turned down the opportunity.
What, to play at Tottenham?
Yeah.
Why?
I just couldn't be bothered.
That's
No, you're having a laugh.
laugh.
You didn't go.
No, I live a long
Why?
way. I don't get it. I don't. The old White Hart Lane I would have done,
Yeah.
but
No,
What
I'd
stadium that was?
play anyway. I just love.
you love bloody love football, didn't you?
Can I just let people know this? We are currently on 95.6 thousand subscribers. 95.6. If you would be so kind as to click that subscriber button now. If you are watching this stream, please click, because there's a chance that we could get to 100,000 subscribers with Flav here. And if we get there with Flav here, Flav is going to do the Ravanelli, so you'll see his six-pack.
Oh no, please don't do that.
But you've made a
Please
pledge
subscribe.
to the
Yeah, you have
viewer.
pledged.
You've made a.
I'm not doing. I'm
You said off
said that
camera.
you'd do the
definitely not
Ravanelli.
doing
You
the
said off
Ravanelli.
camera.
You said
I
you'd do
don't.
the
I hope
Ravanelli.
you don't get to 100,000 then.
Don't say that, mate. You've already told people to turn off, and now you're saying that.
Look,
Don't
if you're watching this and not subscribing, what kind of person are
Yeah,
you? What kind of scumbag are
You're an
you?
animal.
You're worse than an animal.
We are on 96.6, 95.6. Please click subscribe right now. There is a chance that we could get there today. That means we get a plaque.
Is it already?
Yeah. Right in
Get
the
a
middle.
plaque. It's going to go right here.
Can I just say what a great little set this is?
You're a fan.
Yeah,
You
thank
don't
you.
need to say the word little. You don't need to do that. You don't need to emphasise the petite nature.
Look how snug this is, and look how the size of you.
It's big. I thought it was massive. Let me see if it's had any impact. I'm going to check the subscribers right now.
Give it.
It has. It has. You utter heroes. 95.7. I said 0.6
100,
before.
just
Round of
like that.
applause.
Good.
Round of applause.
Get in.
Subscribe now.
Thank you.
Subscribe.
Mate, we might get there. And then,
Beautiful.
because they want to see your belly.
I'm not doing the Ravanelli.
Well, you said you would.
No,
So you had a six-pack a minute ago. Now he's got a belly.
Why
I
did you say...
haven't
What have you got? Have you got a belly or a six-pack?
I've got a belly. I'm a dad bod in the most extreme.
Why would you say that you... Why would you dangle the dream for the audience and then cruelly snatch it away? They all want to see you topless.
They don't want to see that. I don't
Kane
want
is...
to do that. I would never.
Ginger. I'm in the middle of reading, Ginger. Ridiculous. Okay, come on, Blues. Not much has happened this game. I mean, I've had a great time. You two have been fantastic company, and thank you to everyone watching.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything's happened,
No,
apart
it's
from an injury.
A little bit end-to-end, a little bit open. but
Tottenham
no
hit the
quality.
post, didn't they? Højbjerg hit the post.
You guys are terrible quality.
All right, slow down, mate.
No, seriously.
Slow down.
just
You're second in the
cannot
league, so
wait.
don't give it a big one.
Yeah, like thanks for that, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for that. And one time we wanted you to win the league, and you're doing this.
One time I'm actually thinking
Pathetic
I'm
idiot.
back
We're
in City
still
this
in it.
year. I'm watching City.
But
and
you're
thinking,
idiots. Who do you think you are? You play like this every week, and then you play them and you take points off them.
Yeah, it's the biggest
Give
game of the
Arsenal the
season.
league.
Mate,
you
I
idiots.
know. I said that I wanted us.
Why
to.
were you doing that?
What was I doing?
Mate, you're idiots.
I know.
You know, if it comes down to
I
it,
know.
Chelsea need to beat Arsenal and drop points to Man City.
I know. The thing is, I've always hated what Man City have become and what they are. I hated them.
Yeah, but they're so irrelevant, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when they win. It's almost better, isn't it?
No, you
Because-
want them to win.
Yeah, you do.
You always want them to
It
win.
doesn't hold up a mirror to your own club. Same. What are you? Why are you? We're not on the same side here.
Yeah, we are on the same
no,
side.
you're not. You're as bad
don't
as
try,
them.
No, but you're better
Don't
than this.
f-
Don't try and compare
don't try
Chelsea
and-
to Man City.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
try. Chelsea were playing in the
do you know
Champions
what?
League.
Do you
Chelsea
know
were playing
what?
in the
This whole
Champions League.
Spurs high and mighty
Of course,
rubbish as well.
of course.
fuck.
Chelsea were playing in the Champions League under our old owners.
No,
they
that-
weren't.
That's true.
They weren't.
That is true. But we're not. You're not on the good.
We're the good side.
You're not on the
Me
good
and you,
side
Flav.
either. You're not
Me
on the
and
good
you,
side
Flav.
either.
We're the
You're
good
terrible
side.
as well.
These hate-
You were part of the Super League as well.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it is.
The
It is.
axis
It
of
means
evil,
you
right?
think
The
there's-
axis of evil.
You're,
That's you.
you're part of it.
The axis
You're
of
part
evil
it.
is
You're
you,
part of it.
Skeletor, that geezer in Harry Potter,
Pol Pot.
Yeah.
Pol Pot, that's it, and Buvey. That's it.
Buvey, yeah.
Pol Pot, Buvey.
I think Spurs are the minor partners
you-
in the axis. I think you're Italy. You're
There is
Mussolini's
a dial
Italy.
of good and evil on this table.
Good.
No.
It is. You're
We're all
on the way as
morally,
well.
No.
we're all morally bankrupt.
No,
okay?
you are morally bankrupt.
no,
You're morally
As a
bankrupt.
football
No
club
way.
and a man.
You are
as a
Both
man
your
and a
clubs
football
were
club.
desperate to get into the Super
You're
League,
morally
just like
bankrupt.
us.
You're
You're
hateful,
morally
morally
bankrupt.
It's embarrassing,
scum.
lads. It's
You're
absolutely,
hateful,
it's
morally
absolutely
bankrupt scum. You're
embarrassing,
filth.
lads.
Rory,
I can't believe
no
you
way.
can even
Rory,
show
can
your face around here.
Can I make a request?
No.
Don't group me up with you.
No, me and you, bro.
No, not
Me and
me.
you.
No, no, we're not on the same.
It's me and you, bro.
It's not.
It is.
It's not when you talk about
Us.
football.
It's me and you against the world, Flav. We'll take them on.
In every other aspect other than Spurs, I agree with you. Yes.
No, it's me and you,
Ride
mate.
or die.
Me,
Right?
you're my ride or die
Yeah,
chick.
my ride that day.
You are my ride or die chick.
Chick. Even in compliment, there's this thinly veiled insult.
Come on, Blues. What a lovely time to score.
You know.
Come on.
Chilwell.
Good player.
Yeah, I like him. Rumoured to go to Man City in the summer.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wouldn't mind
It'd
that.
be a great signing for you
We
if
tried
you
to get
keep
him
him fit.
last couple of years.
Where's he taking the corner from? He don't care about rules, does he? He'd be good at your club. You should sign it.
Lads, honestly, you guys represent some of the most morally bankrupt clubs in
No.
world football. And so do
You're
I,
literal
unfortunately.
cheats, though. You're literal
you
cheats.
cheat, no.
You're literal cheats. You have no trophies.
You both want us to
You
be in
have
the
no
Super League.
fans.
You
have
want us
no
to be in the
trophy.
Super League.
No. You have no trophy.
You were outside Stamford Bridge pretending to make a difference, okay?
Mate, I literally made.
with
I
a,
stopped
with a
the Super-
baguette from Pret in hand, screaming at
Mate,
a millionaire and Peter Cech. Please don't do the Super
I
League.
think the fans
day later,
fans
you're like,
took a
you're
lot of
desperate
credit
to be in
for
the
something they
Super
didn't
League.
really have an impact on.
You were both
no,
desperate.
this is-
Spurs were desperate to be in the Super League so you could actually win
This
something.
is embarrassing, Buvey,
No,
because what
seriously.
you're doing is you're sneering at active Asian fans who made a difference.
You went in-
fans who went and stood up, and we held back the tide, and we fought the man, and fought the power. You're being snide
You went
about
into
that.
Gales Earl's Court and you got a baguette, okay, a bacon baguette.
What's
you
your
had
obsession
it,
with
you had it
my
in your hand with an
food
orange
choices?
juice with juicy bits in it, and you were screaming at Peter Cech as if it was going to make a difference.
It did make a difference.
Your
Because
club,
what happened?
and it
Peter
did make a
Cech
difference.
went in the
It
building
did make a
and he went.
difference.
Do you know what? I just had a chat
The
with
money
him."
wasn't right.
No.
The money wasn't right. If it was
gone-
right, it's going to happen.
No,
lads,
it didn't happen
unfortunately.
because of Chelsea.
Your protest in West London did not make a slight difference.
I don't
No,
agree. I don't agree.
sorry.
I
I'm so
agree with
sorry.
you, mate.
No, you can't because it was
If
happening.
a
and the
million
fans went out
people,
and
if a
said-
million people
Peter
protest
Cech done
Iraq,
shit,
and Iraq
Rory
will
Jennings is out
happen.
there.
Hang on a
Rory
minute.
Jennings is out there. We better.
But wait,
we
it
better
was
pull back.
happening.
It was you and Thogdom. You and Thogdom with a cardboard
There was-
banner.
there was about 4,000
I bet Joel
fans there.
Glazer was
No,
shitting
it
his
was
boots.
more. It's much more.
4,000 fans
The
there.
fans. The fans did something,
No,
but
the
it was
fans
much
made-
more to do with the
so what-
broadcasters getting on board and Sky going after it.
Yeah,
Did
the-
much
but
more.
why
Where
did
the money
they do
is,
that?
maybe.
Yeah,
Where the
yeah.
money
No,
is.
no,
And
yeah,
the-
but
not
hang
a
on,
cardboard
hang on.
cut
You
of
can't take this
Abramovich.
one away from the fans. Why did the money back out?
What?
Why did the money back out
Because there was a massive backlash against the idea
from the fans?
and Sky.
from the fans?
And
Yeah.
Sky.
No,
The
not
fans
Sky.
got-
There wasn't a backlash from
Yeah,
Sky.
there was Sky Sports. They were saying how bad
No,
it was.
wasn't.
Yeah, there was.
No, there wasn't. There were
You
pundits on
Rory
Sky.
Jennings, you're not allowed to take credit.
No, you don't
personally-
like the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Because you had absolutely zero
No,
impact.
that's not true.
As-
I'm not,
as
it's
an
not about me.
individual.
No, as an individual, I didn't. As an individual, I didn't.
You
but I
and,
was
you and
part
Thogdon
of
were
the
holding
movement.
hands in West London, shouting at
Wasn't
Peter
with
Cech
Thogdon.
with a
I was
cardboard
part-
cutout
I was
of
a very-
Abramovich, and you think that made a difference?
I was a very
How can there be a
insignificant-
million people protesting Iraq and that didn't change anything? How do you think 4,000 people in West London when you're holding your baguette from Gale? I
That
mean,
is
what
so
Gales? What
true.
world are we living in?
I don't know why you keep talking about baguettes, but I would also say that I think the fans and me being one of them, a completely
It
insignificant
was
part,
symbolic.
isn't the point here.
It was symbolic.
Fans
I hate to say it.
fans coming together, making their voices heard, and standing up for what is right
Globally.
deserves to be acknowledged and not sneered at. I don't know
I
why
don't
we're
sneer.
saying.
I think
I
it
don't
was-
know why we're saying
What is
fans
going on?
didn't do this. Fans did do this.
There's a big point of difference there because I think it was a very good thing to see, and it wasn't just at Chelsea; it was across the
It
whole
was
country.
predominantly. It was largely because
It was
of the way the
notably
fixture
at
fell.
Chelsea. It
Because
was
of the way the
notably at
fixture-
Chelsea, but it was all across the country. It was all every football.
I didn't see much at Man City.
No, there was a lot of man.
Didn't
There's a
see
lot.
much.
There's a lot across the whole
But
country.
No, because they don't ever say anything about their owners. Have you noticed that?
No, they would have been very
That's not
hypocritical.
true. I
And
certainly have.
Also, they've only got like 6,000 fans, haven't they? So if they, how many of them
So
are going to?
percentage-wise, so if 60 turn up, they've done quite well.
And how many turned up?
60.
So we go from a moral argument to slagging off City's
Wait,
fans.
you
Oh,
made
there we
this.
go.
You,
Says a
you
lot.
start-
Says a lot.
No, you made this.
Says a lot.
You made it this. I was saying that fans did it
You
incredibly
were
well
holding
regarding
Thogdon's
City.
hand down King's
Mate,
Road,
why-
and you thought you made a difference.
You keep saying things. You keep saying the word baguette, and you keep saying the word Thogdon. None of them have any relevance to this.
What is going on? It's all
Not
boiling
Bogdan,
up.
not Baguette.
Oh,
Oh my God!
Whoa!
Ziyech.
Wow.
Ziyech is off, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's a red, isn't it?
Hold on. This has already happened, and he.
He's a crazy
Oh,
guy.
Ziyech is about to get.
That's not a red.
No, they've already booked him. He's already booked him. It's been dealt with.
I thought if you raise your hands in the face, you're sent off.
This has already been dealt with though. It's not.
It's not going to VAR again.
What? I don't know. This.
It is still with VAR, boys.
The thing is, it's still with VAR.
Come
Flav's
on.
telling me that it's been done.
Can I just say, I bloody love VAR.
Mate, Buvey and I are presidents and co-founders of the anti.
I'm the president and Rory's the vice president.
No.
Yeah, 100% needs to go. It's the worst thing that's ever happened.
It is the worst thing that's ever happened to the world.
If you had a choice between the Super League or VAR, you have to have one. What would you have?
He's gone,
This
boys.
is the kind of content. Oh my god! How can you get sent off for that, man?
It is idiotic, Buvey.
So that's
You're being
good.
very generous.
No,
to Ziyech.
but
Emerson
Don't
Royal
raise your hands.
Royal's gone right into his back. He's wound him up.
What he's done is he's pushed him like that.
Come on, mate. You know the rules. Don't raise your hands. You know this.
Yeah, but
like,
in
he's been an
the
idiot.
heat of the moment, I've just barged you full pace. He's ran into him full pace.
Yeah, but that's good play
So
from
Emerson
Royal.
Royal should get sent off then.
No, because there's a
The
difference
action is- I
between
think the action
barging
is
and
arms
raising
and-
your hands.
arms down,
We know
innit?
the rules.
So has he been sent off or not?
Now
Why
he's
is he
checking
checking
it
it?
again.
It's pathetic, man. VAR's ruining football. That's
Yeah.
not a red, man. That's just my.
If it's in the face, it's a red, isn't it? Like, that's the rule.
But it shouldn't
What-
be that
are
way.
Are they deciding whether or not if it's a punch or what?
I don't know if
So-
they'd look at...
Why isn't Longley getting a booking?
If they look at Emerson Royale's barge initially, I wonder if there's something in that. Although it's all very handbaggy, innit? I'd much
He's
rather
pushed his shoulder.
just get on with it. It all feels very handbaggy.
What is he going
It's
to send off?
pathetic.
Oh, I don't know anymore.
What's he? Where's he walking? Where's
Is it
he
half time?
walking?
Have they blown for half time?
What are they saying?
It's half time, isn't it?
No, he's going to check monitor.
What, again?
He's checking another monitor.
How many monitors has this idiot got? Oh, he's going for another card. Is it
Who?
from Royale?
Royale.
Oh, it's off. No,
he's
Ziyech.
removing it.
Ziyech. Yellow. That's the right call. That's sensible football. It's taken 6 years to get there. That's embarrassing.
Wait, so he's undone his red card.
So it's not violent contact.
No, I think if you push someone's shoulder, you
He was
should get sent
provoked.
off.
Is that the issue? Is he
But if you
provoked?
get a yellow and you move on,
No.
you shake hands, you play a game of football.
But
It's-
Buvey,
it-
do you know what
just
you're bringing
give
into it? I
football.
don't disagree with what you're saying, but
Yeah.
you're saying sort of normal rules. You're talking about
Yeah,
being
you're
provoked.
You're commenting
like, that
on the
isn't-
actual rules. That's why you're
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
why you're right. But the fact football's even got to this point
Yeah, I
where
agree with you.
if someone barges in you at full pace
Yeah,
and
I
you
agree.
can't react and push back,
Yeah,
what
especially
world are you living in?
a flimsy.
It's pathetic. But football's desperate to. It's like CCTV football. Like they're desperate for everything, for any moment to be
Oh, God,
microanalyzed.
it's well played, isn't it?
Pathetic.
That Romero.
Yeah. I agree. I think that probably I think it's probably the right decision.
Yeah, it would be foolish to be sent off for that. But the only thing I would say with Ziyech
the
is
rules are
just
that-
don't raise your hands, like, because we know how foolish and churlish these referees can be. So just don't raise your hands.
But I don't think. But he's going to do that. He's going to retaliate.
No, but he has to be professional,
But
mate.
in that moment, it's
it
like
has
a
to be-
split second.
Yeah, but you're full adrenaline. You're in a 60,000 people watching you. It's not easy, is it?
You know,
Not
react is like odds on to score now, isn't it?
Yeah, he gets the win.
Yes,
Gets the win.
He has scored a beautiful goal. You know the goal that he scored against Tottenham a few years ago.
Well, we talked about it.
It's just one of my favourite goals. It's just such a good finish. I don't think people acknowledge Ziyech's ability as often as they. I mean, he doesn't demonstrate his ability as often as he should.
He's been a flop.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, he's not well liked, is he, by the fans?
Nah, not really. Like him, Pulisic, Kai
I actually rate
Havertz, Timo
Pulisic, you know.
Werner.
I think Pulisic is a good player in there. I really do.
There isn't.
No?
He's joking.
What, not for like
He's an idiot, mate.
Brighton? Someone like
For
that?
Brighton, maybe for even a club like Tottenham.
Well, you know,
but not
good
for
players
Chelsea.
exist outside of the top six. You know, they.
But I don't
No,
think
but
he
that's
starts
not-
for Brighton.
that's not the
I don't
level.
think he starts for Brighton.
That's
because
not the level. I think
he's
he
got
does start
too
for
much of an ego. No, I don't think he fits into the system.
I don't think he.
System matters more at Brighton than Pulisic.
But I think he's a better player than Brighton as
Is
well. I think his next move, when he leaves Chelsea in the summer, hopefully, he'll go to a team in the Champions League, won't he?
There's rumoured that Tottenham were interested in him. Is he out of contract in this?
He's a Spurs
No,
player.
I don't think
He's a
so. I
Spurs
could see
player.
him doing quite well at Tottenham, actually.
He's a
I mean, he
Spurs
can't keep fit, which is a massive issue.
Yeah.
But no, I don't.
He's a good marketing tool.
I think
he's a good-looking American.
Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic, they're all interchangeable to me.
Go
all
on.
pretty useful.
Who was that? That was
Kulusevski.
Kulusevski.
That's
terrible,
Ben
man.
Davis, man. Thank God for Ben Davis.
He should have drilled it, right?
Spurs have been better this game.
Yeah,
It's been pretty balanced.
overall. It's not been a
really
good
much
game,
of a
has it?
statement, is it? Yeah.
Harry Kane's Barnet. Look at it.
What, receding hairline?
It's just like so perfectly crafted, isn't it? It's like
He's done it. It's a fresh trim for sure.
I don't like that fadey haircut that everybody seems to have these days. Like everybody seems to have the same haircut. So yeah, that's where we are. The score is Tottenham 0, Chelsea 0. We are at half time. So far, so good, in my opinion. I would take a point because that is how low Graham Potter has made me feel. But so far, so good. You after 3. Do you need 3 for your Champions League aspirations?
Yeah, definitely. We've obviously got some difficult games. The Chelsea game is probably our most difficult, I would say, on paper. We've got everyone else we're playing is in the bottom half of the table. That said, so were Leicester, and they beat us 4-1. They smashed us. So Spurs are back in that kind of...
You were so unlucky to play Leicester when James Maddison was there and on form. Well, because I saw James Maddison was missing yesterday, and they...
Did he not play?
Nah.
What, injured?
Yeah.
Well, that's...
Basically, if James Maddison doesn't play...
he's that good a player, though. In terms of how Spurs could become a much more attacking and fluid team.
Oh, yeah, signing.
Someone like that. Well, yeah. To answer your question, yes, 100% we need to win this game. It's not required to finish top 4, but you can just see Liverpool start maybe kicking into gear, or even Brighton just carry on, challenging. And
do you think you get top 4?
I think we will. Yeah. Yeah, I think we will, and that's in spite of everything that's going on. Like Conte's just been non-existent, for various reasons. And like I said before, I don't blame the fact that he's not there. He seems like he needs a rest and needs a break.
You still in the cup?
Yeah, we're in FA Cup and Champions League.
Okay,
with AC Milan.
AC Milan, and you're losing 1-0.
Yeah,
but that's fine because you're away from home.
Yeah,
and in the cup, where are we now? Where are we in the cup?
We watch Sheffield United away.
Sheffield United away. Manchester United got West Ham. Okay, so it's
United in the Europa League,
isn't it? Isn't it funny? Like when you look at Tottenham as a whole, without kind of drilling down into it, you go, it's all a bit shaky. They're not having a particularly good season. They're not particularly inspiring. The fans aren't particularly happy. Antonio Conte's all over the place. And then you go, hang on a minute. They're in pole position for the top 4. They're in the last 16 of the Champions League and in a half-decent position to go through. Like, you can certainly see them overturning a 1-0 defeat at home.
Yeah, they're not very good, AC Milan.
And you're in the FA Cup.
Yeah, it's
weird.
It's. I don't think it's just the style of play, and we've had this over 3 years now with 3 different managers, and they're all playing the same way. Like I said, it shows you about where our squad is. There's no chance that a manager as good as Jose Mourinho and as good as Conte they're playing a similar style. And that's because they look at it and go, well, we understand how to get the best out of this somewhat limited bunch of players. In some areas, we're pretty deep in central midfield and in attack. Yeah. But in defence, we're really weak, right? So what's the best way to protect the weakest aspect of your squad? And that's
numbers. Numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, so play defensive and play free at the back.
Isn't it funny that when you break it down, still in the Cup, still in the Champions League, on course for top 4? Do you think you make top 4?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, make for top 4. Yeah, I'd say.
It's weird. It's weird because it's actually quite a good season. When you look at the state of, say, Chelsea, we're out of every domestic trophy.
Yep.
And we're in the same situation as you are, but I think we're playing a better team. We're in the same situation in terms of scoreline. We've been away from home when we've lost 1-0.
Yeah.
But we're playing Dortmund and you're playing Milan, and I think your opposition is slightly easier than ours.
You think Dortmund are better than Milan?
Yeah,
I think Milan, like Liao, who plays up top.
Milan were in our group, and we made light work of them.
Yeah,
so with that alone,
I'm not surprised by that. I think they've got a couple of really good players, but fundamentally, even in San Siro, they could have had a good couple of headers right at the last, a couple of chances, and they could have gone 3-0, and the tie would have been done. But overall, the fact that it was away in Europe against AC Milan, I wasn't as impressed with them as I thought I was going to be, and I think we'll beat them.
Oh, mate, have you seen this? There's a film being advertised. The film is called Cocaine Bear. Yeah. I can't tell you how up for this film I am. Have you heard about it?
I've heard.
It's a real story. Good. It's a true story. It's about a bear who takes loads of cocaine and eats everybody. I'm so up for that film.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds like my kind of film as well.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I am so up for that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be up for watching it, yeah, for sure.
We should go together. Do you want to go to cinema together?
Nah.
Why not?
Just don't want to.
Rude. Very rude. Can you read that? My eyesight's not good enough.
Could do anything than do that. Unpopular opinion, ref made right decision, but the circus around this decision is ridiculous. Refs made the boiling pot by not handing out cards sooner.
Hey, nothing wrong with your mince pies, is there? That's amazing.
I've got glasses.
God, that's impressive. All that is to me is just a blur.
It was difficult to read. Yeah, the referee. I think he made the right decision in the end. I think it should have been. It probably wasn't a red card. In the eyes of the law, it's a It's a sending off because you've struck the face, but he was provoked into it. And if the provocation is important, it's significant. Emerson Royale runs, 20 feet, 30 feet across the pitch to bump into the back of Ziyech. A bit of shithousery.
Yeah.
But it probably is the right decision. Obviously, naturally, I wanted. That challenge even wasn't even worth reacting like Richarlison.
No, Richarlison does it a lot.
He won the ball.
Yeah. I think the whole thing is ultimately shadowed by a 5-minute process to kind of review it against the kind of letter of the law. I think that's not football either. You kind of taking the adrenaline out of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can't have another conversation about how shit VAR is. It's awful.
No, I know, but it's just even the idea that the referee doesn't trust himself it's a basic situation. You're going to see situations like that with Emerson Royale, Ziyech.
Yeah.
You're going to see that Hackney Marshes on a Sunday at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's not any different.
No.
And the fact that these referees at the highest level don't trust themselves without going to a screen to review basic conduct in a football game, it says a lot about where they are as referees.
I don't understand why the referee has to even go to the screen. What if let them make a decision in Stockley Park?
Yeah.
Tell him what to do and get on with the game.
Exactly. There's a lot of confusion in refereeing these days. I don't think it's getting any better. If it was getting better, then there are weeks where it's better and there's weeks where it gets worse.
Why is it in Europe? Why is it in Europe, right, where you're not even aware that VAR is in play? When Spurs played against AC Milan, they didn't mention VAR once. It was just done in the background. Whereas in the Premier League, it seems to have become an event in itself.
Is that because the standard of refereeing here has always been worse?
Maybe
is it the media kind of the pressure of the media about every decision being in the newspaper? Is it the kind of media speculation that puts pressure on? Is it just a different league? Is it the intensity of the Premier League?
When they're making decisions that are incorrect at times. Not this one specifically. I think they've done. I don't have an issue with that being overturned, but. There's sometimes you have VAR in place and they still make the incorrect decision.
Yeah,
I mean, and then the farce, or absolute farce that is it Mason who didn't draw the lines on the offside lines. That isn't video action replay.
No.
That's someone who's not doing their job properly. It doesn't matter if VAR exists at all. It's impossible. Yeah, I'm sick of it. The thing that I hate most about it is that it's just removed an element of the game that is the most important thing, and that's the joy of scoring a goal. When you scored a goal and that explosion of emotion and reaction and tense, and the feeling of being tense when you're watching a game against Arsenal, Chelsea, and this one, and you scored a goal and it explodes, but then you go, right, now is it actually going to be a goal because VAR needs to check everything?
Yeah.
It's just for the sake of being right. Who wants to be right? Just make something that's exciting.
And there is no right or wrong in football. It's tennis can be a line. When you cross a line with a ball, that's where goal line technology has been an unbelievable addition, mate. It's been unbelievable.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
It's been unbelievable.
It works.
100%.
I think unless it's been a huge error, I don't think you should be going to VAR at all.
No,
the referee sending off Ziyech there, that isn't a huge error. That could be sending off.
Some refs, I'd rather for some refs it's a red in their style and it's done and then you move on with the game.
Yeah.
That is arguably, even though I don't think it's a red.
But it's their decision. They make the decision, you agree with it, right? Or disagree with it, whatever it is, but that's the decision. If it's a clear error, like if you're talking about a toenail offside, that's not good enough. That just let the game flow.
Yeah.
How much of a millimeter is he offside? That to me is nonsense. But if there is a huge error, like there's clear daylight between the player and he's been given onside or offside, whatever it may be, then in that instance, VAR goes, you made a massive mistake.
We could go into a long spiral about this because I am the biggest proponent of losing VAR on the internet. It's as simple as that. I'm going to have to do a shout out. If you're watching the stream and you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to hit 100K, lads. 100K in just over a month. That is incredible. So thanks for the support. We're doing so well. Lads, what do you think second half? I want to get some takes. Where's the game going? Is it for me, it feels like a goal. A single goal, a bit of brilliance, a João Felix moment, potentially. What do you think?
Ziyech is going to score 100%.
Seen plenty, haven't we, from both? I think we've seen that both teams have quite a lot of quality players, and we've seen that both teams have some distinctly average footballers. So it's anybody's. I mean, the Ziyech one. I know why you think that, Flav, because of the way it's written, but
you've seen it so many times before.
I know, and he is lucky to be on a pitch. I know what you say, Buvey. I agree with you. It shouldn't be a sending off, but we've seen players be sent off for that sort of.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about it. It's like You can't, if some refs will give it, some wouldn't. It wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, it's a lottery,
needs
isn't
to be
it?
reviewed. Going to the second half, I think I can see it's one or two goals. I could probably sharing them. I think a 1-1.
Yeah.
That's my gut that we're going to kind of end
A
up.
point does me. Does a point do you? I'll take a point right now. Right now.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it'd be a bad point for you when you think about our form. Think about like we've won 2 games in the last 14 or something.
Yeah, but as we discussed at length at the start of the show,
true.
it doesn't
It's
matter.
Tottenham, isn't it?
It's Tottenham and it's Chelsea, and it is what it is. But we grew into that game. It started well. Chelsea started well. We started to get opportunities on the break.
Yeah.
Kulusevski had a couple of moments of magic. I worry about Emerson Royale's temperament at the moment. He's already got a book in. He's getting stuck in. Although I've been impressed by his performance overall.
You've hit the post, haven't you? In terms of most clear cut, the most likely to score. I think the answer would be Tottenham have probably had the best chance.
Yep.
Simply by the fact that they've hit the post. Flav, that is absolutely mental. That is absolutely ridiculous. Do you see what it just cut us straight across. Absolutely, mate, you've got to crawl. Absolute
Jack is now.
joke.
Yeah, 100%.
That is so Flav, isn't it? That's such a Tottenham move.
It's embarrassing.
That is such a Tottenham move. Give me
as
some
simple
news
as that.
anyway, Buvey. What have you been doing?
What have I been doing?
Yeah, generally speaking.
I've just been, doing this and that. This is a very crazy halftime. No, I've just been enjoying life.
Doing what though?
Spring in London's a beautiful thing.
It's not spring, it's freezing.
It's nearly spring. Oh, yeah,
Not
it's got cold in it.
Freezing.
Cold.
Yeah, I misjudged the temp.
Yeah.
Have we hit 100,000 subscribers?
Let me have a look.
Please click the subscriber button. We desperately want to hit 100,000 today. That would be amazing. And while I've got your attention, I need to say a huge thank you to NordVPN. They have partnered with us. We have a sponsor. They are supporting the channel, so we are so grateful to them. So please, if you need any VPN action, and let's face it, everybody needs a little bit of VPN in their life, NordVPN is the only place for you to go. It is so cheap. It is so cheap, it is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee. That is how cheap it is. And one subscription sorts you out 6 devices. No jeopardy either. Like, you pay if you don't like it, which won't happen, but you get your money back, no questions asked.
Have we talked about the custom URL?
What?
URL.
Tell me.
nordvpn.com/the club for the 30% discount. It's a beautiful thing. And look, we talked about spring, summer. Look, people are looking for flights, maybe Ibiza, maybe Thailand, something like that, potentially.
Yeah.
If you're looking for flights, these websites, they track what you're looking for and they raise the prices when they know you're interested. With NordVPN, firstly, it's the quickest VPN going on the internet. But secondly, it removes all that data with these websites tracking you. So you can go for these flights at the cheapest price every single time. It's beautiful. I'm booking my flights to Ibiza. Do you want to come with?
I'd love to. I'd
Are we
love to
doing
be
it?
in Ibiza
Wayne
with you.
Lineker.
I'm there. I'm with you, Buvey.
Big Wayne.
Just so you know, all of the information, everything you need, the link to NordVPN is in the description below. So for all your VPN needs, make sure that you head over to the wonderful people of NordVPN. The second half is live any minute. I'm convinced that Chelsea will... Hang on a minute. I think... Let's see what happens here. So Flav now has to get back to his seat. Is he going to... Okay, he's crawling. He's actually... Okay, that's good. Hey, look, he's slithering. He's like a snake. He's doing the... Oh, no, but he's popped back up. Mate, you would not make a good ninja.
No, I wouldn't. I'd absolutely.
You would
make
not be a good
terrible.
ninja. Like, you're not svelte and lithe.
I'd be a great ninja.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
You wouldn't.
That's the
I would.
opposite. You'd be the opposite.
You're not a
would.
ninja.
I would.
The most ninja-like...
Berserker, you'd be a good
You know,
berserker.
Batman's 6'4". You know, Batman. Bruce Wayne's a big guy, and I would
Yeah, but
be
he's
like
not a ninja.
Batman.
Not a ninja,
He
is he?
is. He's a trained.
He's not a ninja.
He's trained in the.
Mate, do you know what a ninja is?
Yeah,
Like a Ninja Turtle.
yeah. Batman is part of the. He's part of the Shadow thing, whatever it is. He's a
Shadow
ninja.
Alliance, you mean?
Shadow something. Yeah.
Shadow
But
Alliance.
He's trained to be a ninja.
Comics, are you?
No, I made that up. I just wanted to prove
No,
that he
he's
didn't know what he was
no,
talking
he's in the
about. Shadow
the
Alliance.
Acts of Shadows. What it was called?
Of course I'm not into comics.
The
What an
League of
idiot.
Shadows. The League of
You stink
Shadows.
of a man who's secretly into comics.
No, mate, I would never read a comic. I would never watch a cartoon.
Rory,
I would no.
Ant-Man.
Absolutely not.
Ant-Man's out.
People who like anything like that, I just don't have anything in common.
Rory,
I will not speak
Ant-Man's
to
out.
people. I don't care. I don't want to know. I don't care.
You speak to me, Rory.
Are you into all that, Elliot?
Yeah, of course.
Elliot loves all that.
No, not me. not me. But we don't speak about that.
Roy, should we go to the cinema and watch Ant-Man? A
No.
guy that can, he's a normal sized guy, and
No.
with a press of a button, he can turn into the size of an ant.
No, sounds absolutely shit.
You want to go and see Cocaine Bear?
I want to go see Cocaine Bear. I want to go see Cocaine Bear. If I'm going to the cinema...
on!
Oh, that's an amazing turn.
Give it.
Go on!
That's terrible shot, man. That's terrible. Straight to keeper.
Mate, that turn, was that
Go on!
Kulusevski?
Oh! Yeah! What a goal! Oliver Skip!
Ollie Skip.
What a goal!
Strike. Half volley. Roof of the net.
20 seconds.
What a goal!
Oh. They've won it now.
Well,
No, but Joe, I'm not, you know.
Mate, whose turn was that on the edge of the box? Was it Kulusevski? 'Cause that was mental.
Yeah, it was Kulusevski.
Did you see that?
Yeah, beautiful.
Mate.
Should have been the goal first time.
See
with
what I mean? They
Emerson
spent
Royale.
10 seconds with Potter, right? They spent 15 minutes with Potter, and all of a sudden, and that's the result.
Yeah.
Do you know? I'm not even joking. It's look how good this turn is.
That's unbelievable. Give it there. Should score there.
Why has the keeper not picked this up there? Who's that?
clear
See
by-
him?
away from him.
Is that Koulibaly clears it out for Fafana? Oh, what hit that is. I wonder who's the centre half
think
that
it's-
clears it.
Number
It's
5,
not. It's Fernandez.
Enzo
It's Fernandez. isn't
Enzo
it?
Fernandez.
It's Fernandez. It's not the centre. Yeah. I think Kepa is going to put. He should be catching that straight, right?
Oh.
But Enzo Fernandez, just
That's
terrible
horrible.
clearance.
João Felix doesn't win
Felix
it.
needs to win the
João Felix
50-50 as
doesn't
well.
win that.
João Felix needs to win that as soon as it's played
way
in.
too weak. But it's not 50-50 against Oliver Skip. Is not something that João Felix is going to win.
Yeah, but you
Well, he
should.
has to.
But even if you nudge the ball away from
And
him,
Kepa's touched it and hasn't saved
Kepa
it.
should have done better, I think.
Twice he should have done better because he should have caught the first shot. Who's the first shot? Emerson Royale. And he just parries it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point in parrying it. And also...
he should do
So,
better.
do you know when Fernandez picks that up? Surely, like, call me old-fashioned here, right? But when you're a kid, you're taught, if in doubt, kick it out. So if you've got the ball and you're in doubt and you're in your own 6-yard box and you're playing away from home and it's all intense,
yeah.
why are you kicking it? Why are you, like, putting it to the edge
do
of
you
the
know what
area?
you think? I think he tried to clear it.
Yeah, but he did-
I
yeah, but
don't think he had
kick
the
it out of
power.
play.
No, I know, but I don't think he had the
No, but
power to
when
even
you-
do that.
He didn't need to touch it. He didn't even get involved. Kepa could have picked
Kick
it
it
up.
out.
Yeah, but
Kick it out. Like, kick it out for a corner.
This is a guy
And
that's
regroup.
come in. He's not looked good since he's come in. Enzo
Looked all right, Fernandez. Yeah, look, not in that exact moment.
Look rushed there. Look very rushed.
Oh my god! Do you know what? Do you see how?
bunch of
Do you see what I was
individuals.
saying there? That they spend 15 minutes in Potter's company and immediately they've gone to shit. I swear to you, every single player that's come in, listen. I swear to you, they've come in and they've looked good on their first game, and the more time they've spent with Graham Potter, they've looked worse. Mudryk comes in. He'd never met Graham Potter, right? Plays against Liverpool and looks all right. He's then spent 3 weeks, 5 weeks, or whatever it is in Graham Potter's company, and he looks terrible. I'm telling you, every single player. Enzo Fernandez, João Felix, he comes in, he looks all right. He spends half a week with Graham Potter, he looks terrible. These players, they play all right in the first half, they then get coached, and this happens. Ariza Balaga, Fernandez, how many people? João Felix, Ariza Balaga, Enzo Fernandez, and Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Kepa's not a Premier League keeper.
Kepa Arrizabalaga is.
70
How many
million
Chelsea
pounds.
players? Help me out here. How many Chelsea players are at fault in that goal? Keeper, so Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Koulibaly's out of position.
Koulibaly, Enzo Fernandez, João Felix.
Yeah.
4 players. All
Yeah.
if one of the 4 does the right thing, all one of those 4 players
Yeah.
takes a little bit of responsibility,
Yeah.
behaves like a consummate professional, and does what they're paid to do,
Yeah.
that goal doesn't go in. 4 players.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, wow. Could be 2 now. Could be 2. This is dangerous now for Chelsea.
A lot of people in the chat saying
Another clearance.
Buvey looks like Oliver Skip.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, definitely.
We've just heard Rory give some incredible analysis about his football club, and you go there. You go there. Do you know what? I don't want to see this guy on camera again for the rest of the stream now. Let's cut Elliot off. The 4th cam's off now. No, I'm not having it. Not having it. Ollie Skip, he's blonde.
No, the facial features, you're definitely
Blonde.
got, but sort of Neanderthal.
Neander. You cheeky bastard.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, wow. Oh. It's dramatic, actually, is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, you do. I've said to you, you're a striking man.
8K, an unbelievable amount of people watching. Thank you so much. We're going up, mate. We're going up. It's unbelievable.
Are they subscribed, though?
Yeah, it's happening, lads. Please subscribe. If you're new here, would really, really appreciate it.
Come on.
Oh.
So stupid.
Yeah, it's a foul, isn't it?
So stupid. Oh my god.
Is it worrying that Reece James, Ben Chilwell both playing?
It's fine.
Is it
Fine. It's fine for you. You're 1-0 up.
Is it worrying Ben Chilwell, Reece James? For a large part of the season, people have been saying without those 2 fit, Graham Potter's had he's had his hands sort of tied behind his back. But they're both fit.
No, but what's happened is it's the fullbacks are so important and so integral to everything that Chelsea do. Or like, our 2 most important players are our fullbacks.
Yeah.
But Thiago Silva's got off.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's about having a stable back line. Like
Definitely.
Like Koulibaly shouldn't ever be playing for Chelsea. Koulibaly isn't good enough to play Premier League football at all.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy. It's a terrible signing, mate. We signed him a decade too late. It was like the kind of signing, like years ago, people were talking about Koulibaly. How easy is that to turn?
That's Fofana. Got bullied.
Mate.
Got bullied.
They were bullied by the best striker in the world.
He's still good.
It
Yeah, he
doesn't
got bullied.
matter. Like, foul him then. Tactical foul him. Don't just let him roll you. If he rolls you, you're done, aren't you? You're totally done for.
Oh, mate, this could be 2 or 3.
We do look dangerous every time we come forward.
Potter out.
Yes.
That was wonderfully timed.
But in terms of
What is
Bowley, will Bowley do it?
No.
He won't do it.
What do you think he should? Because you don't have a dog in the fight. What do you think?
I'd keep him to the end of the season.
Yeah, why though? Because you like this.
Oh, you got to give him room to breathe. Let me.
Yeah, let
He's
me.
a good coach.
What he did at Ostersund's, he could do at
Oh,
Chelsea.
shut up, Ostersund's. I hate this crap. Ostersund's. Like, it's so stupid. And do you know what? I didn't even know this until... Well,
That's red, isn't it?
clash of heads there.
Yeah, red
Do you-
card. VAR check.
Do you know the whole... You know the thing that everybody churns out now? You talk about Ostersund, you say they beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
Apparently, they were already through Arsenal. Like, it isn't quite the...
No, I don't think it is that. Yeah.
It isn't
I think
quite
what they
the
did
thing
in the
that-
Swedish league in terms of getting promoted up there, but you know.
Oh, but come on, it's so...
No, I know. And he didn't get Swansea promoted.
He got Leeds
took
Met promoted
Brighton
as well.
10th.
He got Leeds Metropolitan University. He got them promoted as well. Like, is that relevant?
Regardless, really, is we knew this wasn't the right fit. We knew it from a long.
I
long...
hoped it was, but I was wrong.
Did you?
Roy did a video
hope-
saying it was the right fit.
Oh, really?
I wanted
The
it.
title of the video
I
on
don't
his
think it doesn't
channel
matter what you
was
wanted.
"It's the right fit."
Obviously, you wanted
It
it.
is RoryJennings.com/YouTube.
It's the right fit.
Yeah, it's the right fit. It is.
It's like it's the
Google it
opposite
now,
of what
Google
it
it
is.
now.
Like, I was saying this isn't going to work.
All caps. It's the
obviously
right
doesn't.
fit.
That obviously is.
Mate,
And in the
complete
description
bollocks.
it said
I mean,
the shoe fits. The shoe fits
shoe
like
fits, wear it.
Cinderella.
yes.
Honestly, Graham Potter's Cinderella. That was in the description. The tag on the YouTube video. It fits, lads. It fits. Honestly, and now it doesn't apparently because you're losing a game of football.
Yeah.
How
No,
fickle!
you're
How
pathetic.
fickle from Rory
I
Jennings.
wanted it to work. I like the
You
idea
said it
of
would.
it.
No, you said
I
you
thought
said
it would.
comprehensively it would work.
If the shoe
I didn't
fits,
comprehensively
you did,
say
you
that.
said
I gave
as
my
a matter
opinion.
of fact it would work.
As a matter of fact,
You did.
Oh, shut up.
oh, he's rattled. Actually rattled there.
Oh,
goal!
Spurs are one of the worst sides in European football, and they're
What?
smashing
Mate,
you.
They're in the last 16 of the Champions League. for
hang on a
starters.
Out of all the Champions League sides, they're the worst. They're
Hang
the
on
most
a-
boring,
you
and they're
can't
ripping
preface
you a
that
new one.
statement of they
They're
are the
ripping you a-
worst side in Europe.
No, it's
Out of everyone left in the
they're
Champions
not
League, you're
even.
the worst.
They're not even.
Go on. Oh,
Like, they're not even the worst side within 3 miles of their stadium.
What do you mean?
Well, they're above West Ham in the league. Like, what are you talking about? The worst
West
side in
Ham's
Europe.
not 3 miles within North.
Seven,
North-
seven,
seven
seven
miles,
miles.
seven
Seven
miles.
miles. You should know that. You lived there your whole life.
Oh, mate,
You should know that.
I'd never go to Tottenham or Stratford if I can help it.
no,
Neither
not me,
of those
not
places
me,
are
to
in
be
London.
fair.
No, Stratford's terrible.
Mate, we've been to Tottenham.
Go on.
Do you still have that chicken shop outside White Hart Lane?
Chico
Yeah,
Land.
Yeah, Chico Land or whatever it's called.
Legendary.
Yeah, terrible.
I mean, I bet. I
Terrible.
don't eat.
Food poisoning.
I rear chickens.
Do you know what I
don't eat
did
them.
notice? I went to Tottenham fairly recently. Right, I was up there
Don't go to Tottenham.
I was there for.
You're not welcome.
No, I'm not. I didn't go on a match day. Do you know what though? Do you know that pub on the corner? What's it? Not the corner pin. That's at Arsenal. What's the pub on the corner for
Yeah,
the away
corner pin
fans?
is first.
Is that the corner pin?
Yeah, it's not a pub there anymore. Oh no, it's Beavertown
It's
now.
become a
Beavertown.
hipster. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah, well,
Like,
we're
that
coming
is-
up in the
I
world.
remember
In North London.
We drew 4-4 with Tottenham, right, on a Monday night it was, and I remember going to the game and it was so hostile coming out. Joe Cole had the game of his life. I think
remember that, yeah.
Berbatov,
Robbie Keane. Yeah.
Robbie Keane. It was a brilliant game. Finished 4-4. Coming out of that ground was the most intimidating experience I've ever had. You come out, you have the away end, you turn right, and then there's a pub on the corner, and it was a big forecourt in front of the pub. So there was like room for it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
I couldn't believe that it's become hipster and like trendy and geezers with moustaches and statement socks and corduroy trousers.
I don't think that's what it is. I think you're just adding stuff. I
But
think
that's what
it
it
has
is,
a
though.
Beavertown.
Beavertown is that.
Yeah,
Beavertown is
bad,
like
man.
geezers with
Beavertown's bad.
MacBooks and
You've
tash-
sold yourself.
Bad in what respect? Bad.
Well, it's like £8 a pint, and you get 3/4 pints out of a tin.
I couldn't care less about what.
No, that's because you've got loads of money, mate. But think of someone else.
You can't just say you don't
Think of
care
other
less.
people.
You can't just say you don't care
Think
less.
of someone other than yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I apologise. Yeah, you're right.
You can't just say that.
Do you go there? If you have a drink at Tottenham, is that where you go? Do you go for
Nah.
neck oil?
No, probably going to maybe the number 8, which used to be the Bell and Hair, maybe
The number 8, who's that named in honour of? Who's your famous number 8? Hoddle.
Paul Gascoigne.
Oh, Gaza.
Yeah,
Really?
shut you up, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a shame because I thought you were going to say like Nick Barmby or something.
But fundamentally, what they've done, Spurs, is that they've taken. A lot of people are still drinking the pubs, but it's inside the stadium.
Yeah,
now.
I've heard about that.
People drinking.
They make it worth your while to go.
It's cheaper than the pubs,
and they fill up the pint from the bottom. How does anyone know how that science works? It defies all logic, and
it's a little hole.
it's an amazing thing. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I have.
They fill up a pint
Yeah.
from the bottom. How does that work?
Instead of signing a world-class midfielder, they spent their money on a cheese room and that. I mean, fair.
There isn't. For the record, there is not a cheese room at Spurs.
There is.
No, there isn't.
There is.
Do you know
I'm
what,
telling you, there isn't. I've been in the
Have
stadium.
you been to every part of the stadium?
There is no cheese room.
Have you been in every square millimetre of the stadium?
There isn't a cheese room. There is a brewery. There is not a cheese room.
brewery?
There's a brewery.
That's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
in the stadium?
Yeah, the beer
the
comes
game's
directly
gone.
from inside the stadium.
What, you brew your own beer?
Yeah.
Love that.
Beavertown.
You
like-
Beavertown brew it for us.
Beavertown are part of a partner of
Yeah,
Tottenham.
there's a massive brewery. What do you want? This is the future of football. I
Not
don't
the
like-
future of
I didn't
football.
know that.
It doesn't
You-
have to be.
wait.
I'm a Luddite. I don't want it. I want it to go back
Beavertown's
old
quite
school.
cool, though.
Okay.
Do you?
Beavertown
before-
is quite a cool partnership.
No, it's not.
Why not?
You were slagging off a minute ago, saying everyone's got curly
No, but I didn't
moustaches
realise it was a
and
part.
chinos. Now
I
it's
didn't-
cool
I
to be in the
didn't-
stadium.
No, I mean the pub. The
What
pub
are you trying to
that-
do? Get a brandy on
No,
your channel? Is that what you want?
No, the pub has gone from being like a geezer's pub to a trendy pub, and I
You
don't
used
like
to
that.
have a beer sponsorship, didn't you?
But
On
I
your
didn't-
channel.
I didn't really.
You have a beer
I didn't.
sponsorship.
Mate, there's no free
Beavertown.
advertising. It doesn't matter. I didn't realise that. I didn't realise that it was a partner of. Like, you know how Arsenal have a Camden Town
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I think that's quite good as well.
And they got prime.
Yeah,
and all
I
that.
don't actually buy when I go to a pub.
I like a neck oil though.
Yeah, it's all right.
I like a Beavertown
yeah.
neck oil.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
glass with
But
the
even
trendy, colourful.
other like normal beers as well that you can get inside the stadium, and then there's food and so it's like proper modern and
There's
whatnot.
Wow.
There are elements like naan breads and curries and
Is it nice?
burritos.
Is it quite? Has it been levelled up? Is it because I've never eaten
Yeah.
a football stadium? Is it all right?
Yeah, yeah, I mean the old. I mean, you remember what White Hart Lane was like?
Yeah,
It
I'd
was
never
proper-
eaten that. Do you know
No,
why I
no,
would
no.
never eat as an away fan at a football stadium?
Why is that?
Because I never want to contribute to their transfer kitty.
I spit in the
I'm not
pies.
buying a pie because they might use
What
that
if you
money.
get hungry?
No, I'd rather go hungry and die than give money to an opposition team.
I'd rather have a Mars bar, to be honest.
You'd buy it from the team though.
I'd rather.
You'd buy it officially from the club.
What do you mean?
So say you're on.
What, I have to take a Mars bar from Man City down to Bournemouth away.
Man City are playing away. Man
Yeah.
City are playing
All
away.
right, let's take Bournemouth last night.
Man City,
Let's just say I was going.
Man City are playing away at Bournemouth.
Okay.
No, Bournemouth aren't relevant.
I'll give Bournemouth 70p for a Twix.
No.
I'll do
Okay,
it. No.
would you go to Old
that means
Trafford?
it pays for Kiefer Moore's salary
that's
for
not the
a
question.
few days.
Underrated player.
Would you go to Old Trafford and pay £3.50 for a Mars bar?
If I'm starving, I would, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's,
If
you've got no
I-
principle, mate.
If I'm starving, I would.
I would rather starve.
That's where you draw the line.
That's where I draw them.
Eating a food
I
in
would
the
buy
away
pro-
What about
program-
the 600
I would
million
buy
quid you
program.
spent in January?
I didn't spend that. You do
haven't
realise
got a
I'm
comment
not
on that?
Chelsea.
You do realise when you buy a Mars
doesn't
bar, it
come
doesn't
out
go
of-
into
Yes, it
Madrid's
does.
transfer kit.
It helps. It helps turnover. It helps everything. I'm not doing that. I'm not contributing. I wouldn't buy a bag of discos. I wouldn't buy anything.
They're not selling.
Would you
discos
have
these days.
Frank Lampard back as manager for Potter?
It was never this bad under Lampard.
Well, that's not the answer to the
We
question.
battered you under Lampard. We battered you every
Don't
time.
do an Alistair Campbell.
We battered you every time
Can
we
you
played.
please
Just
answer
directly
the
answer.
question?
It's a very yes or no.
all I'm
He's
saying
doing an Alistair Campbell.
all-
No, he's doing an Alistair
It's a very
Campbell.
simple
Alistair
question.
Alistair
Campbell.
Campbell's your mate. What
Master
did he
of
call
spin.
you? What
He
did
called me Harry Maguire in his house. He actually did. He
What?
actually did.
How did this happen?
I interviewed him once and he said, "Oh, that's Harry Maguire." And I said, "Nice to meet you too."
Wonderful.
The chief of spin for the new
Yeah.
Labour government.
You bring up Frank Lampard and you're trying to be snide.
I'm not-
Frank Lampard battered you every
But you
time he
just
played.
deviated away from
every
the
single,
question.
every
No,
single
no, I
time.
demand
Every
that
single time.
you
Listen,
answer the
under Frank
question.
Lampard, we went to Tottenham and won, and went to Arsenal the
Don't talk about
following week and
history.
won.
Don't talk about history.
Well, Frank Lampard is in his history.
It's just a simple question.
Who finishes higher right now, Lampard or Potter, with this squad from now?
Who finishes higher right now?
Right now.
Lampard.
That is a mental statement.
I think
from Adam
Lampard
Lowe.
gets you relegated.
Potter,
Well,
I've
you're
missed-
wrong.
it's gone off the screen, but it says Potter is a mid-level championship manager.
Yeah.
What? That is mental.
But he's not
Potter's
Chelsea manager. Chelsea never lose to Tottenham.
Yeah, but
What's the
you-
score?
you are
Chelsea
mid-le-
never lose to Tottenham. What's the score?
You've lost at least one game.
Once in 50 years. Twice in
50 years. No, it's more than that.
Mate,
What, Rory-
honestly, we don't lose
I
to
know,
Tottenham.
but
Rory, is the answer's no then, isn't it? If you're unwilling to answer the question, the answer is no.
What no?
Well, you don't want Lampard back.
For Potter, Lampard is a better manager than Potter.
I think
so you want Lampard?
Potter keeps them up.
That's not the
Potter
question, though,
keeps
is it?
Chelsea up.
Lampard for 2
Mate,
years.
Just to say, our form over the last not 3 games, not 5
Yeah.
games. Our form over the last 15 games is relegation. It
Yeah.
was never that bad under Lampard. Like, it was never that bad. Nothing happened either. It was never that bad under Lampard ever. Like we were never
You don't
genuine
forget what
relegation.
Lampard did with that. You know he took Everton down. They've never
Didn't
been
take him
relegated
down,
out of
he
the
kept him
Premier
up, he
League.
saved them.
Yeah, but you know he took
Stop
them down.
talking about Frank
He's not
Lampard.
very
You're
good.
barred.
He's not very good.
You're barred from talking about Lampard. Better than Paul Gascoigne.
Well, he's not manager.
No,
Clearly,
technically-
he's definitely a
better-
manager.
better Paul
No,
Gascoigne.
Paul
He's better
Gascoigne was
manager than Paul Gascoigne.
Oh,
Who's your
manager.
hero?
Are you talking about manager or
I'm better manager than who's your hero? Who's your hero?
I don't know.
Tell me who your hero is.
I can't remember what my question was.
Martin Yole?
Yeah, better manager than Martin Yole.
I don't know if he is.
He's not.
Martin Yole won nothing.
Martin Yole keeps Chelsea in the
what did
top half
Lampard win?
of the Premier League.
Nothing.
All right.
So he
Rory,
beat
it's,
you. He beat
there's
you.
a-
Martin Yole got battered by Chelsea every week.
There's a comment on
He
screen.
didn't. Lennon.
Oh, was that Lennon?
Read that out, Rory.
Can't read it, man.
Rory's the kind of guy to double flush a toilet at an away game so it bankrupts the club.
Totally.
Yeah, that's
You
showing.
should do that. You totally should do that. Water rates, mate. Water's not cheap. Cost of living crisis out here.
I know.
I'm on a fixed contract. It's beautiful. I could use as much. I could keep the taps running. I've kept the taps running in my flat back home. I've just kept them running. Fixed rate, mate.
Yellow card, mate.
Joking, obviously. You're the kind of guy, yeah, to put a whole bog roll down the toilet just to block it up. Yeah, yeah. I've done that a few times in away ends.
I would never. All I'm saying is, I would never contribute my hard-earned money.
But my blood sugar level matters to me. If I need a Twix Bournemouth away, I'm buying a Twix
But no,
Bournemouth
you
away.
shouldn't do that.
Do you know what I did?
My mate,
Brighton away, fish and chips. Brighton away, beautiful.
my mate. It was the FA Cup semi-final, Spurs Chelsea.
Is that the 5-1 game?
Yes,
5-1.
yes,
When
yes.
we scored 5, when
Yeah,
Frank
Rory.
Lampard scored from the
Yes,
halfway line,
yeah,
5.
yes, Rory.
5-1.
He was so upset at half time, right? He was so upset that he went into a cubicle that had no door and sat down, had a sit down wee in front of everybody. He didn't give a shit.
Just because he was so upset, he needed to sit down, needed some time out.
He just said, I don't care, I need to treat myself here. I'm gonna have a sit down wee.
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
Have you heard Larry David's kind of piece as to why men should sit down and wee? He's got like a whole passionate
They should.
rant about why you should. Yeah,
There are
just why it's so much better.
It's
than,
so much more what is it?
It's just for so many. Like Larry David gives an entire like speech where he loses his mind about it, and he basically says that you don't need to turn the light on. It's more relaxing. It's better for you in terms of the way that your body is functioning.
Spelling it,
Like because you're leaning forward, in which case it puts pressure on the bladder, which makes it empty better. He basically just thinks that every man should be doing it. It's quieter.
Do you know, Rory? It's not that far from 50-50. And they're sit down wees and stand up.
No,
wees.
no men do it.
I did a poll literally 2 weeks ago on my Twitter.
Yeah, that's your people though. You weirdos. That's like
No.
so you know 50%
You're
of
weirdos.
people that do it.
You're
I've got
weirdos,
100 people. I've got 100% of my people
No,
that don't.
they are
That's-
doing it. They are doing it. They just don't tell anyone.
No,
That's a good
nobody
point.
I know
That's
would
a
do
good
that.
point.
They don't. They're not telling anyone. They're all doing
It's
it.
just Flav's weird.
My
audience,
Twitter
mate.
followers would not say yes to that.
I do not know one person.
because they're weak. They have a weak constitution. They won't admit what they do.
Have you ever even done it? I've genuinely never
No,
done it.
I've never
done
done
a
a sit down.
poll
wee.
about-
No, have you ever weed sitting down?
No.
Well,
I think it's sick. I think it's sick in the head.
I agree with you, mate. Freak.
You've got to be so sick in the head to.
I want to do a poll now in the chat. This is my prerogative.
It's live. The
Yeah,
poll's
do the poll
live.
right now. Thanks very much. And by the way, if you're watching the channel and you're new here, please
Yeah, have we hit
subscribe.
100,000 earlier?
We're
have
going
we hit
right up.
100,000
You've
subscribers?
passed 96k.
96k. That's
no,
a couple of hundred in the last
basically, we're
couple of minutes.
Dying out
Unbelievable,
there.
lads.
Hang on a sec. Oh,
By the
yeah.
way, the poll is currently 80% have had a sit down wee.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
These
they-
are all
wait, are
Flav
they
followers
girls?
coming
How
over
many?
to
How
you.
many of those people are girls?
I don't get the gender data, Rory.
We do on our channel.
Probably all girls.
No, the girls are not.
But boys don't do that.
The club's
Men
100%
don't
women,
do
by
that.
the way.
80%
Our
do.
subscribers are all
They
women.
Are they? Because of you lot.
Yeah, because we're
so
studs.
attractive.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
We're studs. All the
I can see
girls
it.
love it.
Because
round
maybe
here.
they don't think I'm a Neanderthal, Flav. Yeah. Maybe like
Or
the
maybe they
dad
do and they
bod
like
from the
that.
West Country.
Maybe
over
they
here.
do and they like that.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
The Germanic look, mate.
It's not Germanic.
I do sometimes
It is
think,
Germanic.
like they say, you know,
It's by
like
definition Germanic.
you know,
You've
there's
got a
this,
Germanic look.
It is because I am Germanic.
No, but it's not Germanic.
It is
That
more
isn't-
like
that isn't
it is
your look.
Germanic.
No, I don't think Harry Maguire's Germanic.
Well,
also
I
like,
don't know
like an
Hammer
emperor, like a
Yeah,
like
Germanic
a
Empire.
No, not
yeah,
Germanic.
Yeah.
Not
a Roman
Germanic.
emperor,
Bismarck.
Italian
No,
emperor. Yeah.
you're not like Bismarck. Like Bismarck.
Unbelievable.
Come on, Chelsea.
Terrible.
Oh, that's worked out.
Oh,
That has not.
Romero.
oh god, it's been a terrible game.
They
Been a terrible before. Oh,
Mason Mount done nothing all game.
I mean, hang on a minute.
Passenger.
Pardon? Who?
Mason Mount.
When?
All game.
He's been on about 5 minutes.
Yeah. All game he's played personally. Why can you not read between the lines? You're an actor. I said all game of the game he's playing.
Yeah,
Not the whole game.
has
So
been
you just come on.
He has been
Been on 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but,
But all 5
He's
minutes.
been
he's
terrible all
there.
game. He's been anonymous all game. I didn't see him in the first half. Where was he in the first half, Booth?
I didn't say first. Did I say first half? Don't misquote me. Okay.
Just going back to the dad bod thing.
Yeah, I want to talk about something very close to my heart.
on TikTok, like apparently all these very attractive women now are into dad bods.
That's not true.
Yeah,
Nobody wants.
Leo DiCaprio and all.
Mate, I was walking down Bond Street.
I'm
Am I allowed to talk about this? I was on Bond Street and I walked past Victoria's Secret. Am I allowed to talk about this?
What are you going to say? I don't know what you're going to say.
Basically,
If you're questioning,
I think you are.
don't.
I think you are. Yeah, I think you are.
Maybe
I
don't.
vote you are.
Because like,
You are.
okay, I'll ask you questions. Have you seen? Have you been on Bond Street recently and seen Victoria's Secret posters?
No.
Because it's not what Victoria's Secret posters used to look like.
All right, leave it.
Okay.
Leave
That's
it.
all I'm
Definitely
saying.
leave it.
What's that got to do with dad bod?
It's like
Leave it.
Oh, there's dad bod on it. What,
No.
a naked
No,
guy.
no,
Is it a
Victoria's
naked guy?
Secret.
Just leave.
What, a naked guy?
No, just leave it. For your own sake, Rory, leave it. Yeah,
Well-
but I'm looking in the mirror. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm going, that ain't attractive.
no, it's horrible.
That's not what they
Nobody
want.
wants. But do you know what happens when you have a kid? Like you know the whole dad bod thing.
Yeah, you
when you
just
have a
don't give a
kid,
shit anymore.
you just know because you don't have time.
Oh right.
Like you just don't have time. Like there was a time when when you're your own man and you're either single or you just got a girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
You wake up, you do what you want. Put down a gym.
No, I
you
look
do
at- I look at
now I'm going to Little Kickers class. You know, like when do you get the time? It's a genuine thing. It's a genuine.
Kids
like, the
are
dad,
bloody.
the dad bod is a
uh,
genuine thing.
Yeah, they're just getting away, don't they, kids?
Oh, mate, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Come on, Blues.
We have to say, by the way, lads, a massive game coming up on the channel. So if you're watching, make sure you stick around. There's a second stream. We're doing the biggest game in Newcastle for 20 odd years versus Man United. No Adam McKola. What's just happened, Roz? Describe what's happened here.
It was a lovely little interchanging play, and I thought that Kai Havertz was going to get onto a flick, but unsurprisingly,
Fraser
Kai
Forster.
Havertz didn't. Fraser Forster beat him in a race.
I hope you don't mind me saying this, mate, but I think
Kai Havertz.
you say it wrong. It's Havertz.
Kai Havertz.
Havertz.
No, but
Havertz.
say his first answer.
Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz.
But there's a kind of abbreviation. you can do it with. Havertz.
Have you ever heard Millwall fans say Millwall?
How do they say it?
They put the inflection on the second. They sort of go Millwall.
Whoa.
Right.
Very annoying.
I don't think he does that in German, does he, Havertz?
Yeah, no, I say it in the Germanic
Havertz.
way. No, I say it in the sort of Bismarck way. I don't know about you, Buvey, but I have a lot of knowledge on that.
Yeah.
And I kind of go Germanic, Bismarck, Havertz.
Yeah.
You say it wrong, but you wouldn't know that
Havertz.
because you have no
Havertz.
Germanic.
Havertz.
No, it's not that.
Doesn't sound right, mate. It's German. It's Havertz.
No, you're not saying
Havertz.
it. Mate, why do you think that you're the
Can we
king
do
of
the
Germany?
Google translation
Why
of
do you
Kai
think you're the
Havertz
king
like we've
of
done with the other
Germany?
night?
Are you acting like the king of
I'll get it
Germany
up. But first, here's a £20 super chat, a huge one. It says, because I can't read, that's that small. Potter has been manager for 6 months. Despite the relegation form, I find the worst thing we seem to have is no style of play, tactics, or identity. We have the players, but just need a decent manager.
Do you have the players?
Do you have the players?
We have the players. We have the players to beat Bournemouth.
Yeah. I think maybe
And
in the
Southampton.
context of this game, both sides have got massive gaps in the squad. Spurs have got massive gaps that they have to address in the summer, and so do Chelsea. Even though you spent all that money, I look at the midfield. I don't think Enzo Fernandez is the answer by himself. He needs another man with him.
Whatever you think, though, whatever you think of the players, whatever you think of every single player on the pitch, we shouldn't be losing at home to Southampton, should we? We
No,
should,
but
we
I'm
should
not
be
talking
winning
about
two
that. I'm
games.
talking about this game right now where you're
two-
getting beaten by an average side in Spurs.
They're not average because they're by very definition not average because they're in the top four.
Okay, they're a side in average form. They're an okay side. They're not lighting the world on fire.
No, but they're in the top four. They're in the last 16
Fine,
of the Champions
fine,
League.
fine.
They're still in the FA
That's
Cup.
decent. Yeah,
so when
yeah,
we
yeah.
start to if we're going to actually do this,
Yeah.
if they're average and they're in the top four in the European Cup,
You know what I mean? You know what I mean, though.
Like we're losing 1-0 away from home.
What you mean? You said we're average. That's what you mean. You meant that we're average. But we're fourth in the league.
In the context of where you are, there are more dangerous Spurs sides in the last 10 years to play against, and this certainly isn't one of them for me. And
Don't beat you lot.
you've played all right. Yeah, it's the biggest game of your season every year. Have you made a DVD about it yet? Well, actually,
We're
should
not
be
bothered.
streamed.
You
We're in the
can't
21st century now.
No, you can't
We're
use
not-
that.
Why?
You can't use that.
Why?
Because that's Frank Lampard's line.
What do you mean?
That is Frank Lampard's line, isn't it? And
What?
you've been slandering
What,
Frank Lampard.
No, I haven't.
Yes,
When
you
have I slagged him off?
You slagged him off. When
I said he did a fantastic job at
slag him
Derby.
off every day.
When he took Derby 6-6.
There you go. You're slagging him off now.
What?
Right?
What
So that is Frank Lampard's line, so you can't use
What
it.
do you mean?
my
What,
line.
mate,
He took Derby
line about
6-6.
what?
Frank Lampard said the worst thing about losing to Tottenham is whenever they beat you, whatever the significance of the game, it's so annoying because they'll always bring out a DVD.
It's true, we do.
Frank Lampard said that.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Frank Lampard said that about Tottenham, and therefore you.
I'm
can't
allowed
use
to.
his
I'm
line.
allowed to quote a famous person.
Well, then give
you are.
give citation.
Well, I did. Okay.
Say,
I
just need to-
cite Frank Lampard.
I just need to reference one of the greatest footballers to have ever
I
lived.
cite the Derby manager who took Derby from 6-6.
Lampard isn't the greatest footballer anymore. You've done
One
a
of
lot.
one of the greatest footballers in the Premier League.
I'll
ever.
give you hard working.
He's
one
top
of the
20.
greatest.
He's top 20.
Lads, do you want how Kai Havertz has said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Kai Havertz.
Yeah, see,
completely right.
Havertz.
I'm completely right.
There's no inflection.
Mate, it's because of my. It's
You said
because, it's
Havertz.
because I have good knowledge on Germanic
Havertz.
Bismarckism.
Frank Lampard's definitely top 30 Premier League players of all
Why don't
time.
you drive into the box
Mate,
there? But back,
He's
back
in
with
the top 30 Man City players, and he played there for about a season. He's in the top 30.
He scored against you
He's
lot.
in the top 30 Man City
Scored
players.
against you lot, man.
Yeah, honestly,
Mate, you should build a statue of
the
him.
most pathetic. The most.
Do you remember when Do you remember when Man City did that? They started trying to nick everyone else's legends. They started trying to make Patrick Vieira theirs. They tried to nick Frank Lampard.
Wait, so Frank Lampard leaves Chelsea. He goes to Man City. He scores against you.
Yes,
He's your best ever
professional.
legend.
Didn't celebrate.
The most pathetic thing is that he didn't celebrate. That was
Do you
embarrassing.
want to know? There's one more pathetic thing. There's
Go
a
on.
worse thing. I was at that game.
Go on.
Some Chelsea fans cheered him.
Oh my lord.
Really? It was a nothing game, though. That's what it was.
Unforgivable.
No, it wasn't. Schürrle put us one. No, it was in the league. It was proper.
But it was at the end of the. It was right at the end of the campaign.
No, it counted. It was
You,
proper.
but you weren't going for the league. We were.
Yeah. It
fourth.
was early. It's early in the season.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, it was in January. Came from the MLS. It was right at the end of the season. It was a dead rubber game.
No, it
Was you annoyed at
I
him
can't-
for leaving? 'Cause he could have
It
been
was at the end of the
September,
season.
It was September.
Rory.
It was early. I
Lampard-
remember.
I thought it was April.
Nah, it's early, mate.
Rory. Lampard could have been a one club man, but he chose to shit all over that.
He chose to take the money.
Well, like he needed that.
Yeah, he likes money. He's
Good
got
business.
ex-wife as well, isn't it?
Put
Mate, the worst thing. No, the game really counted, Booth. We were going for.
I might be wrong. I don't know if
No,
Jack
you are
remembers
wrong.
back in the
You are
in the
wrong.
room.
I remember going up there. I was there. I remember.
Yeah, no. I thought. Wait, September.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No,
What a play he was for Man City.
it
What
was-
a goal that was.
I
in
remember
September
Schürrle scored.
20.
Schürrle put us 1-0 up, and I was thinking, right, us two could be competing for the league. Lampard scored. I was like gutted, obviously. Chelsea fan, I was in the lower tier. Chelsea fans around me started going, no.
How have I got that wrong? Because MLS players usually come in January.
Don't know what
when
you're
there's no
talking about,
season.
mate. I can't help you.
When the season ends.
You're getting all sorts
Why?
wrong today. You're getting all sorts wrong. You're all over the place. You're shambles, mate. You're
Interesting
shambles.
comment on screen there, boys.
Did he?
I think everyone is
season?
preoccupied with VAR. No one talks about the actual balls used anymore. Does anyone think they're over-engineered and heavy, and no one scores bangers
Heavy?
anymore?
What?
No, have you picked up
What
a
are
ball?
you
It's
talking
about like light as a feather.
This comment's
Nobody
been stuck
scores
in the internet
bangers.
since 2010.
Nobody scores bangers. What are you talking about?
Just one in this game.
Nobody scores bangers.
That was a
There's
good goal. Yeah.
Really good goal scored.
I think no one scores bangers because people are afraid to hit things these days. The people are afraid they want to make the pass instead of. And
It's
the
probably
same
more
with
skill
skill.
management style.
Do you agree that nobody scores bangers anymore?
There are less bangers than there were in 2006.
But it's playing style. It's playing style. It's a low percentage
Yeah.
shot from
Yeah,
outside
because
the ground.
people-
It's Pep Guardiola's fault.
It's because
Pep
Guardiola.
Guardiola's
Yeah, of course it is.
fault. Yeah, it's just boring. Made football more boring. Like you never, out of all the teams to watch in the Premier League, Man City like the
Yeah, I
last.
don't watch it because I don't care. They're so just. It's not only the style of play.
This
it's just I don't
season, you're
care.
right because it has been. But
everyone, even Barcelona
If
before
you
it.
can't
very boring.
appreciate what we did in the Centurion season,
I
then
don't
you don't
appreciate
understand
it.
football.
How many points did you get over 2 years?
I do it.
in that year, got 100 points. Never been done before.
then the year after?
Whether you scale the league up or down with more or less teams, never been done before. 100
Oh,
points.
fuck off.
Oh,
Seriously.
is that a foul? Has he gone through the man there?
If he's gone over the ball, that's a red. He went through the ball though.
Mason Mount's had a terrible 23 minutes.
He's been anonymous for the whole game.
He's had a terrible. He's had a lot.
had a terrible season.
mate. Yeah,
Remember when he started for England and he never played again?
yeah.
Oh, so
No, that's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. There's just nothing wrong with it. It's bad control.
Bad touch.
I mean, it's bad touch.
concentration.
No, there's literally
I
nothing
didn't
wrong
even
with
touch
it.
him.
He's gone in with his side foot as well. Like, there's just not a foul there.
Big dive, Ray Mount. He goes. He's
Wasn't
soft.
Mount. It wasn't Mount. in the
Mount was
channel.
rolling all over the place.
Wasn't Mount.
What was it then?
Mount's moaning about his mate.
Oh, who's his mate? Oh, Havertz.
Havertz.
God, what are you
Havertz.
up with you today, mate?
Havertz.
Right, you 2020. What's going on?
I can't see the TV. Too far away.
That's probably key to your job with him.
Havertz.
Yeah.
Boys, coming
You
into
can't see the TV. We've got a real problem with you on this show, mate.
Boys, coming into the closing stages of the game, we've got one of your favourites, which is a prime debate. And the three players to debate who is the best out of these three in the Premier League: Harry Kane, Sergio Aguero, and Alan Shearer.
God, it's easy, isn't it?
It's not even a question. It's Harry Kane.
Kane versus Aguero.
Aguero shouldn't be in the
We
conversation.
know who's third. It's Harry Kane because ultimately it's not just about skill. It's about goals contributing towards trophies. That's what you got to do. It's the hardest thing in the world to win trophies and score goals doing it. And Kane's done none of that at any level. The biggest moment of his career,
he's better than
England
both.
even, he bottled it.
He's better than both of them.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
he's not. He's got a worse goal to game ratio than Sergio Aguero. He's won less trophies than Alan Shearer. Scored less goals.
Better forward than both.
He's number 3 guaranteed. Whatever you lads think, I'm open to it. But he's not number 1 or 2.
Like, honestly, I'm really thinking about this now, trying to not be tribal about it at all. And I rate Shearer so highly. Like I think he's amazing. But is Harry Kane a better footballer than Alan Shearer?
No.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah.
He does more all-round things.
Hang on.
Harry Kane
all-round
gets undue stick. He's not rated highly enough.
No,
he really isn't.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but you
Like,
can't
you've got
start
Arsenal
putting
fans
him in
banging
the
on about
echelons of Alan Shearer, really.
Yeah, but there's Arsenal fans going, "Oh, Thierry."
Yes. Oh, Kai Havertz, why don't you win that? Like, in that situation, he's literally in a fight with Romero. So it's up to him to win the fight. If he wins the fight, he gets an equaliser for Chelsea at White Hart Lane. And what happens? Romero just easily dusts him off. And do you know what?
Yeah,
that is in his favour. That is at least 50-50, if not 55-45 in his favour.
Just poke it.
Slide.
No, come on, you're being harsh.
Get there.
You're being
Get
harsh.
there first. Drogba wins that.
Yeah, but Kai Havertz different.
Yeah, he's being asked to do something he shouldn't really be doing.
It is mad that you've got. Oh, that's it. Keep winding him up.
So no, in terms of talking about Alan Shearer, look, I mean the amount of goals is just ridiculous.
Well, Kane will beat
But
that
football was very different
that.
then. It was harder to score. Of
course it is.
It's harder to score
You don't.
goals now.
No, I do.
You don't.
Only injury will stop it.
Even
Exactly.
I think he will break it.
And do you know, I have to say this: the all-round stuff that Harry Kane does, the kind of link-up play, it looks good on the eye. Has it made him a better player? Has it made him a striker? Has it actually made him successful?
I don't understand why you have to pick him apart, though. You're saying,
because people are saying he's an all-round better player. Well, actually, I want him to just be a striker. And at the moment, his
No, but
goals.
what
he's
you
got a
want
very
him
good.
to, what you want him to be, is nothing to do
It's
with
not
it,
about
yeah.
me. It's about people use the argument. Harry Kane can do more than Alan Shearer. He could do more than this, that, the other. Okay, what's the link-up play that he does at Spurs ever done for anyone? Really? What's it? He's linked up play. He's linked up some average fullback. He's brought Danny Rose into the game.
Son and
Offside, you idiot.
yeah, Son and Kane have the best combination.
What we saw last season was fantastic in the single
But they've
spectrum of a
assisted
single
and
Premier
scored
League
each other
season.
more
It was
than any other
fantastic.
team.
Yeah,
That's down to
and
Kane's
but
build-up play.
where'd you come last season? 4th. Exactly. So
we're talking about his individual.
But whoever set up this debate is not fair for Kane because is Kane the best striker in the league right now? Yeah, he is. Is he anywhere near what Sergio Aguero did?
Well, Rashford probably.
Do you think he's better? So you've just said he's best striker. You think he's better than Haaland?
He's better footballer than Haaland.
He is. I can't say that.
He's
No,
better.
of course
he
he
is.
is.
Of course he is.
But if you're putting him that high,
Kane would have scored what Haaland has scored for.
Definitely.
yeah, I agree. I think he would have made them a better team.
But I think that therein lies the argument that we're talking about Haaland and all that, and that's where Kane's argument is. You can't put him in the same. He's not a legend in the same way that Aguero, Henry, Shearer.
No, but I think
Hold on a second.
They're just
Hold
not,
on,
man. At
if
the
you
moment,
try and analyse Harry Kane and not make it like the question that we have to do here isn't take into account the teams that they played for and the team success. We have to analyse the footballer.
but it's called a prime debate.
Yeah.
So I can give you a moment where Sergio Aguero was in his prime. There's different arguments. He scored goals in cup finals to win City a cup final. He scored goals to help City win a Premier League title.
He cried in the Champions League final. Cried.
Why do you have to bring that up to debase a very, very good argument that I'm making?
No, because you like
what is
to...
Harry Kane's prime?
No, because you
Tell me
like
what
to...
it is.
Because you were
What's
saying about Kane. You were saying about
What's his prime?
Do you know why you can't tell his prime? Because he's never not dipped from absolute excellence throughout his entire career.
Definitely dipped. He's definitely dipped. There's a moment after the overlap debate when he was crying to Gary Neville on a YouTube video to leave Tottenham.
Nothing to do with his.
That was when he was desperate to leave. Yeah, the few months when he came back, he did definitely.
It was about
dip.
a month where he doesn't playing, and then he came back and he was fine.
I don't know what Harry Kane's prime has ever contributed towards football. His prime, arguably, was when he was on fire at the World Cup, got to the World Cup semi-final, and he bottled the biggest moment of his sporting career.
Yeah, but you've just
And
said that
doesn't bottle that.
Sergio Aguero crying in
You
the
just
Champions
said
League
that.
final.
I didn't
No, but
just say that.
You said
just
it
said
doesn't
that.
matter.
He got brought on for 5 minutes
said
against
that-
a very good defence.
Yeah, but you said it doesn't matter. Whereas you're making it all about Kane not delivering at the biggest opportunity.
Well,
Sergio Aguero was part of the team that got to the Champions League final and cried.
Rory,
At the back end of his career, that's not fair. That's not a fair assessment.
No, it's not fair because you don't
Aguero
like
in his prime, when he first joined, he won a Premier League in his first season. His goal contributed towards it. It's one of the most famous goals in the history of English football.
Christ alive, Romero is nuts. He's absolutely nuts.
I think this is very harsh on Kane.
Can I ask you a question, Rory, that might help get to the bottom of this? Is if you had to choose between Aguero or Kane to play for Chelsea for 8 years, who would you choose?
See, the thing is with
8
this
years is
direct
tough.
comparison, with this direct comparison, the one, like I rate Aguero so highly.
Of course, he was a great
I
player.
rate Aguero so highly, but the interesting one I think is actually Alan Shearer in this.
Yeah, well, that's the question.
I like Buvey's.
We've got to move Aguero away. Really.
That's why I was trying to sort of find out where Buvey rated Shearer, because I rate Shearer incredibly highly, but I do think that Harry Kane is better overall as a player than Alan Shearer was. I think that the volume of goals that he scored is comparable. I think he'll break his record. And then as a footballer, he's much better. And also, Shearer was playing in an era where a lot more goals are scored. It's a lot easier to be a great goal scorer then.
Didn't have VAR chalking off goals. every
Shearer's
2
playing against some unbelievable. I mean, Kane's playing against some terrible centre backs. As a generation of footballers, we're seeing some of the worst.
Mate, have you ever seen Erland Johnson play football? You ever seen Jacob Bjelberg play football? Like, there was some terrible centre halves about then as well.
Scoring
Mate,
goals
Frank
against
Sinclair.
Ferdinand, he's Ledley Kings of the world.
Yeah, but also Frank Sinclair. Like, you can't just go, there were
If you
good
had
centre
to-
backs then
okay,
and start
okay,
naming
I-
like Ledley King. I could name hundreds of
Yeah,
people.
I think there's a common narrative within modern football that the centre backs that we saw of yesteryear are of a much, on average, of course there are good and bad centre backs in every generation.
No, but you're thinking
on average, the quality of defending in football has changed.
Not Shearer's
because
era.
of possession-based
Not Shearer's
football.
era. You're talking
Shearer's had
later.
to do it against physical.
No, you brought up Ledley King. Ledley King, Alan Shearer would be
I
different.
think
eras,
there's a genuine
really, mate.
argument that Alan Shearer
bringing-
right now
no,
scores more goals than Harry
But
Kane.
Buvey, you're mixing eras, mate.
Yeah, but wow.
Harry Kane.
Don't speak his name.
2-0. Flat.
Dear.
Wow.
Dear, oh dear. That's sacked, innit?
Yeah.
That's him gone. Like,
You think-
just sacked.
If it's not, is there a touch of offside to where Kane was?
Oh,
No,
I hope it's
uh,
not brought back.
Is there? Like,
Oh,
don't-
this is just my opinion. Yeah.
Oh, look.
Mudryk, pat on the back.
No,
Miles on.
Miles on.
Miles on.
Good finish.
Good finish as well behind it.
From a
Hard finish.
class striker.
Look, Booth, I
By
think-
the way, lads, we said 8 years is a kind of arbitrary thing. It's a prime debate. So we've done these debates before.
Yeah.
In their prime, for one game, a World Cup final for Team X, Champions League final for Team X, it's clearly Sergio Aguero. He can do. He's got a better range of finishing. He can link up play better than both. We talk about Harry Kane dropping deep. Aguero used to do that for Atletico Madrid. He can carry the ball better than Harry Kane.
I get
Better
the
finisher.
I get the prime argument, right? But Shearer and Kane done so much more in lesser teams. They had less opportunity to have those moments because Man City, the machine that Man City is,
To say
he
Aguero
benefited
was kind
massively
of
from.
I think you could make the argument about Haaland right now getting the benefit of all this service and stuff like that. Aguero had to do a lot of work by himself.
He had a great
did a
David
lot of
Silva.
work.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah,
man.
did a lot of work by
David
But look at the
Silva,
kind of,
Shearer was
kind
doing
of
it
goals
with
that Aguero
Newcastle.
did. He created out off his own back.
And not even like Newcastle had periods of having of great sides. You know, thinking Bobby Robson.
Then they had periods.
That
of
doesn't
dreadful
diminish.
players.
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't.
Shearer was the constant.
It doesn't
Also,
diminish
Shearer scored
Aguero's
loads of goals
quality.
at Southampton.
And 2 cruciates.
It doesn't diminish. Lionel Messi had a lot of world class players around him as well. It doesn't diminish the unbelievable goal he scored against Real Madrid in the Champions League semi final. Doesn't make it worse.
I'm saying he's had
I
more
don't
opportunity
think
to
you
be
can make
brilliant.
What is Kane's prime then? Give me a game where
Okay, he's never not really been at.
he did
he's
nothing in the
matched,
Champions League final. He did nothing in the World Cup semi final. He did
Yeah, but
nothing in the
keep
quarter final of
flagging
the
that.
World
When
Cup.
I flag Aguero crying in the Champions League, you don't like it.
Because it was the end of his
Yeah, but
career.
you're
For
flagging,
5 minutes, he was a sub.
you keep flagging Kane's bad moment,
Six
and then as
months-
soon as I
6
say
months
Aguero
later-
cried, you
6
go.
months
You
later,
start
Aguero had to
crying.
retire because of a heart condition. It's at the end of his
What's
career.
the point about him crying? Like, why is it?
Well, it was a massive moment for. It was the biggest moment in his club career,
Yeah.
and he cried.
Well, so what if he cried?
Well, he didn't perform. He didn't win it.
Right.
I'm backing you up here as well, mate. I don't
No,
really
no.
care. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
so-
Say shit.
I'm just like, well, who cares if he cried?
Well, I'm saying
he
cried.
wasn't good
I'm
enough.
saying cried because he wasn't good enough and they lost.
He's using crying for dramatic effect to kind of debase the argument. Ultimately, Aguero in his prime for Man City, I'd argue it's the first season he joined. Some of the goals he scored, we've still not seen Harry Kane score that amount of goals in a Premier League winning season or an FA Cup
But you're
winning
never
season.
going to
or in a
at
League
Tottenham,
Cup final
mate.
when
Yeah.
Aguero chipped the keeper.
But you're never
against
going
Arsenal in the
to.
League Cup
You're
final.
never going to because he hasn't got David Silva and Yaya Toure wrapped around him.
He's not playing
If
for
he was,
Rotherham. He's
if
not
he was playing for Man
Rotherham,
City, he would have had all of these
saying
moments.
that.
You don't know that.
You
You don't
just
know
kept
that.
calling them average.
Mate, we've
You're calling
seen
them
Harry
average,
Kane,
and then
okay.
you're going, but he's not playing for
All
Rotherham.
right, so we're talking about club football where, of course, Harry Kane cannot control it. He's not playing with David Silva. I get that, okay? So let's move to the national level. where Alan Shearer was fantastic for England. He had a fantastic time. So did Aguero for Argentina.
Harry Kane will score more goals for England than Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan Shearer had, don't forget, he had a lot of injuries, a lot of different striking options, Andy Cole, etc. All these different guys.
You can't have caveats for him and then not,
Harry
and not
Kane,
consider
on
the
a
Kane
sporting
one.
level, had the biggest moment of his career was a penalty against France. And he absolutely bottled it. He absolutely
that was a
bottled it.
choke. That was a sporting choke.
You missed the penalty.
Yeah, it was that was a sporting choke. They happen.
Yeah.
I think like
But we're
I
talking
do
about the
think that
elite
Aguero. I do think Aguero's number one on this. The one I think is more up for debate. And Buvey, I was surprised that you just awarded it to Shearer because I do.
Well, you think Aguero's number one?
I think Aguero
Easily.
I think Aguero. It's so
easily.
it's
It
so
is, it is.
difficult to argue with. It's so difficult to argue with the facts, like just the goals and the goals and the trophies. It's so difficult.
It's because his prime is directly linked to that
That era of
incredible
City,
Man City
yeah.
team, and it's all three answers could be correct.
if
but
Harry
it
Kane-
depends on what parameters you want to accept.
I think Harry Kane is overall a better footballer than Aguero, but Aguero never.
Well, he's a better finisher.
I think Aguero's better. I think Aguero's a better player than. Sorry, I think Shearer is. For fuck's sake, I think Kane is a better player, but you can't argue with. You can't argue with the trophies.
Would Aguero would have done for Tottenham what Kane has done?
Yes, I think there's a really big argument.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Break an all-time goal scoring record. I don't think
he
he
had
would
the
have done.
same
No,
amount
I
of
don't
time.
think he would have done. But then
He's got a better game to goal ratio in the Premier League than Harry Kane does. He's got the best game to goal ratio of any of the 10 strikers we talk about as the best of all time. He's got the best.
Do we not
country mile.
factor? Do we not factor in the fact that it's David Silva and Yaya Toure?
No, because the goal. Oh, sorry, but because the goals that Aguero scored were not. This is if it's Erling Haaland, you're bang on. You're bang on. But some of the goals Aguero scored, they're out of this world. They're created out of nothing. They're near post into the roof of the net. They're half volleys. They're sometimes him taking the ball from a deep position and scoring from 30
So
yards
where
out.
do you rate Aguero in the all-time?
He's the second best striker in the history of the Premier League, and Thierry Henry's number one for me. He always will be until I see anything different, mad different. It's Henry number one. It's Aguero number two, Shearer number three, and Harry Kane's maybe in the top 10. Maybe in the top 10.
Kane's definitely
Maybe
top
in
five,
top
surely.
7. Seriously.
I don't know. Mate.
Seriously.
Top 7.
I think it's a massive argument. We're talking about strikers. Goals have to lead somewhere. Matt Letizia was an incredibly talented guy. But sometimes there are talented players that have to go and win things with their
talking about
talent.
the individual talents. Then you're talking about the team that they play in. That's not what the conversation is, as I understand it. Who is the best striker in their prime? It doesn't say, well, Aguero is the best because he had the best players around him.
The prime means your prime is a World Cup final. It's a Champions League final. It's an FA Cup final.
Isn't it when you're playing your
Yeah,
best?
if you get to the FA Cup final in
so
your prime,
Harry Kane's best has not been at any level. The biggest moment of Harry Kane's career then at club level was the Champions League final where he was absolutely absent. He was a ghost in that final. He did absolutely nothing in that final.
He was injured though, to be fair.
But why is he playing then?
Well, it's on Pochettino.
Well,
isn't it?
Aguero was injured in the Champions League final then.
Boys, what do you think the chatters voted?
I think the chat will vote Aguero, Kane, Shearer.
Yeah, recency bias.
Aguero 44%, Shearer 29%, Kane 27%.
So much more respect should be put on his name.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Teller's
agree.
the better striker.
I think weirdly, everybody. There's been quite a long, heated debate and argument here, which has been great. But weirdly, I think everybody's kind of agreeing on the same point. Sergio Aguero was brilliant. Harry Kane is exceptional and incredible, and probably doesn't get the respect he deserves because he's not won anything.
Yeah.
I think everybody's kind of in agreement.
Is Harry Kane's prime then better than Suarez's prime in the Premier League for a prime season?
No, but neither is
What would you take
Suarez's
then?
season.
What would you
Suarez's
take?
single season was better than anything Aguero ever did as well.
Fine.
Suarez's single season. No, I don't
Fine.
think anybody's had one single season like
The
him.
tricky thing about this conversation is you're talking about like periods of form,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
who had the best periods of form.
Yeah.
And the fact is that like in terms of like the debate about the best Premier League striker, I think the conversation can only be between Shearer and Kane, right? And before you jump on me,
Henry.
no, Henry isn't in the conversation.
Oh, really?
No, not in the conversation. I've said this everywhere I go. I say the same thing. Harry Kane is a better striker than Henry. Scored more goals. It's not a question.
He's not, man. He's not.
I mean, it's
I'm
all.
so sorry,
It's
man.
all about opinions, isn't it?
No, of course. Look, Thierry Henry did everything better than Harry Kane. He can carry the ball better. I think he's a better finisher than Harry Kane.
Terrible
And
pass from Kane there.
I think Kane gets away with the link-up play a lot.
Link-up play
What's
is
this
good though. I
link-up
don't
play?
understand
What is
why
this? Everyone's obsessed
you
with
seem
he's dropping deep and all that. Go up top and score more goals. Go up top and score
But
more
that's
goals.
not. That's.
People are obsessed with
You're
it.
arguing in a very weird way here.
Yeah.
Like you to be snide and not appreciating link-up play. It doesn't really suit you.
When Flav says he's better than Thierry Henry because he's all round a better striker because of that. If
better
Henry
player.
if Henry was asked to build up play
Score
like
more
at
goals.
Spurs, then
Score
he'd
more
do
goals.
it better high level.
Score more goals. Give me a fact that it isn't
What
true.
against Burnley?
Score more goals.
Burnley and West Brom.
I'm just giving
I'd
you.
take half the amount of
Yeah,
goals
scored
and the
loads of goals
quality
against
that
Arsenal, you know.
But what about the goal that Henry scored at White Hart Lane to win the Premier League?
No, he scored. That was a goal.
Yeah, that won the Premier League.
Kane scores
Goal, you know,
more goals.
draw,
you
though,
know,
isn't it?
goals don't exist in a vacuum. They're just here for highlight reels. You know, goals actually they carry a side towards things, towards trophies. It's a sport. It's like a gold medal in the Olympics. Kane's done 0 of that at any level. You know that he's won 0.
Score more goals.
That's not his fault.
Score more goals, though, isn't he?
So he's got a better goal.
Ergo, better striker than. You know, what is your
I
job?
think Flav wins the debate because he
you're-
used the word ergo.
Therefore, what's the job of the striker? Put the ball in the net.
If you're through on goal, it's the 90th minute for England or Team X in the Champions League final, World Cup final. Henry in his prime, Aguero in his prime, Kane in his prime to finish.
Yeah.
He comes third. I'd
but
put my
he's
money on
scored more
Henry.
goals than all of
Put
those.
money on
wait,
Henry.
well, I mean, Henry missed it in the Champions League final. What do you mean? Henry, the
not-
case
that was-
study that you've just presented in your own argument happened, and he missed it.
Well, Harry Kane's missed opportunities.
No, but you've just said this. You've used the
semi-finals,
thing to
finals.
go. It's Henry, and Henry literally had this in Paris and missed it.
Get it out.
Why do you have to bring stuff up like that?
Yeah, why are you bringing facts to the table?
I can't believe it. Henry's the greatest
Don't
striker in
bring
the history of
facts to
Premier
the
League.
table. Yeah.
Boys, can we each have your top 5? So Kane, Rooney, Aguero, Shearer, and Henry. Can we get your top
Why is
5?
Kane in the top 5?
Drogba.
Drogba's above Kane. Kane's top 10.
Okay, just each do your top
Tevez-
3
Tevez
of all
is
time.
top 7.
Each do your top 3 of all time in the Premier League.
Henry, Shearer, Henry, Aguero, Shearer.
The answer is
Can I ask a question? Does anyone think that we should bring Mo Salah into this?
nah.
Really?
You can if you wish, Rory. We would just want
Bruv,
each of your top
that
3.
Siege, remember that siege?
Give him the clip. He wants the clip.
All right, I'm thinking.
All right, I'm going to say my top 3 will be by the end of his career.
No, but see, you're going on hypotheticals.
Is Kane? Is by proxy because he has scored the most goals, the best striker in the Premier
So
League.
if Flav's allowed hypotheticals, I want hypothetically Henry comes out of retirement and he scores 1,000
But
goals.
that's an impossibility, not a hypothetical.
That's my right. That's my right.
It's an-
That's my right.
I'm not doing this in any order. I'm just saying my 3 top strikers that.
No, we want it in order, Rory.
Okay, let me just put them on the
That's
table
what you asked
first.
for.
So my 3 top
that's poor.
strikers, I think, are Henry,
Can't be.
Why?
Kane, in no
You
particular
can't even
order.
give an argument.
I just said Kane
He's
scored
not a
more
better
goals.
finisher. He's not a better finisher. He's got
Sorry.
better stats.
Give it. What is your list? What is your sorry?
Henry, Kane. I can't do 3. It's impossible. I like. They're all so good. They're all so brilliant, and they've all been so devastatingly effective in their own way. Ah, mate,
Kane's not been very effective because he's won
been
nothing.
incredibly effective for Tottenham.
What, getting Tottenham 4th?
Yes,
Henry,
effective in getting Tottenham 4th. Yes, effective in getting Tottenham to a Champions League
Did
final. Yes.
Aguero scored more goals than Henry, right? Did he? Yeah, he did.
No, Henry's number 2 on the list, I think.
No,
No,
because
I
Kane
don't
scored
think he
more.
is,
I think
no.
he's
No.
4th.
Is it Rooney?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, sorry. I know obviously Shearer's number 1.
Four-
Aguero's top 5. He's top 4 even, I think.
Okay,
Might be Andy Cole.
I think it goes Shearer, Rooney. Are you gonna give it?
It goes Shearer, Rooney, Kane, Cole, Aguero, Lampard, Henry.
Lampard. How's Lampard's a midfielder and he's in
scored
this?
more-
It's amazing, isn't
and
it?
more goals than Henry.
Isn't that amazing?
He scored more goals than
He
Henry.
spent less time in the
how
league. He spent less time in the league.
He's a midfielder.
You tell
No, I'm talking about Henry.
Tell me
Yeah, but
how you can
he's a
say
midfielder.
No,
on that
Lampard's
list.
incredible.
how can you say Henry is the best striker in the league when he's like 7th in the goal scoring charts? Lampard's above him.
can't
It doesn't make any
believe
sense.
it. I can't
Boys,
believe it.
the chat are fuming because no one's even given a word about Wayne Rooney.
No, Rooney's in my list.
Rooney's the best player
didn't
of all
say
of them,
him.
by the way.
I haven't said my list.
Can I just?
said you
Here we go. We're going to change it now.
No, I haven't
Rooney's
changed
number
it. No,
1.
my list.
You said you couldn't.
Rooney's obviously in it. Rooney's
the best player of all of them. We talk about Harry Kane dropping deep and all that. He couldn't play anywhere. He's nowhere near Wayne Rooney's footballing ability. Nowhere
Rooney's
near.
the
by
best-
way.
the best footballer.
I don't think anyone would agree with that. Disagree with
no,
that.
no, I wouldn't disagree because Rooney's the best footballer in that list, and probably is one of the best footballers you've ever seen
Best player in the country.
And Yeah, he was absolutely incredible. You know, of the one player, and I've seen Spurs get absolutely ripped apart by so many players. Right, I could give you 50 players that have torn Spurs a new one. There was one player that I genuinely dreaded playing. It was Wayne Rooney. He was incredible at White Hart Lane.
Yeah, he scored against us every year as well.
Yeah, same at City.
It's very difficult. Isn't
But
it?
yeah, I mean, it's Kane, Shearer, and
Rooney.
Rooney.
Why are you trying to force him into your opinion?
But then it is Aguero as well. That's why it can't be three.
It's called democracy.
It is Aguero.
Just having a chat.
And then, do you know it's the other players as well? Like, you've got to start talking about Andy Cole and Ruud van Nistelrooy, and like, there are just so many, like brilliant strikers. If you, where does
Michael Owen for a bit.
Didier Drogba got to be on the list?
Torres for a bit.
Torres for Liverpool's, but it just wasn't.
This is why I worry about Chelsea's, and I'll just change the subject, and I probably shouldn't, but just I worry about Chelsea's recruitment when Torres was the best striker in Europe and goes to Chelsea and
No, but that
drops
was
off a
they
cliff.
didn't do a medical, did they?
What, he wasn't
They
fit?
did it on the. Liverpool waited until the night of the transfer window.
Talking about strikers in their prime, Torres that season, he's an argument for in their prime. In that moment, he was unplayable.
My answer for that one is always that season Suarez was banned at the beginning. Remember the previous season he bit Ivanovic.
Yeah, that's
he bit Ivanovic.
And
then he had an 8-game ban at the beginning of the season, so he only played a 30-game season.
That's right.
And he won a Golden Boot.
That's incredible.
Just like, what are you doing?
But then
That single season, for one single season, I always go Suarez.
Yeah, it's basically a great debate, but impossible to answer.
It's impossible. That's why I couldn't. That's why I just couldn't do it. Like, I didn't really agree with Buvey's assessment of Kane because I rate Kane a lot higher than Buvey does. But I think Aguero is amazing as well, and Wayne Rooney has to be on the list. And Alan Shearer scored 260 goals. Like, I don't really know where you go with this.
It's crazy.
2-0 bollocks.
Unlucky.
Not unlucky, was it? It was shit.
No, I'm just trying to be a mate. I'm saying commiserations.
No, but it's
commiserations.
no, but it's patronising.
No, it's not.
It's unlucky.
Best of luck this season.
Unlucky, mate. Unlucky. Not unlucky. It was shit.
Okay, tough
He's got to
luck,
go.
tough
Though.
luck.
He's got to go now.
Yeah, he's got to go now. Of course, he's got to go now. He had to go before the game. He's obviously got to go now. But I tell you what, he doesn't. I don't think he realises the significance of losing to Tottenham. Like, you know, when there have been some Chelsea fans that have gone, there's so much wrong with the club. There's other things to consider. There is so much wrong in every single layer of this club. And I think he's got away with it. En masse. Not anymore. Look where we are in the league. 10th.
Can I ask you a direct question?
Brentford, Brighton, Fulham.
Rory,
It's unbelievable.
Rory, let me ask you a direct question. Lampard said, I'll do it at the end of the season.
We're currently in relegation form. That was never the case.
They get
Frank Lampard.
relegated.
I'm not saying. I'm saying give it to him at the end of the season.
I'm saying
give it
that-
Lampard end of the season.
Mate, you give it to anyone to the end of the season because as things look, okay, can I ask a question? And I don't mean this in any sort of hyperbolic way. In the last 15 games, 15, not 5, 15,
Yeah.
Chelsea are in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Relegation form for 15.
Is it really?
So I'm not, yes.
That's
If
alarming.
you do the form table of the last 15,
Yeah.
Chelsea are in the bottom 3.
Wow.
We've won 2 games in 15.
It's got to go.
I'm genuinely asking the question. Do Chelsea need to be concerned at all about relegation? It's like serious.
No,
I'm serious.
No.
Why not? Why not? If 15 games, we've lost here, we're playing Leeds next. Leeds beat us.
Leeds beat you 4-0.
No, Leeds. So Leeds haven't won a
Leeds
game
beat
in
you
3
4-0.
months.
They won, didn't they win?
Did they?
Yeah, they won.
No, they won the. Yeah, but
won
they've
the
got a
other
new
night.
manager as well, haven't they?
Did they? Yeah, Grassi's a good manager.
Okay,
He's
fair.
better than Potter.
He's the manager that got Watford to the
Oh,
final.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
heard that stat before yesterday, and I forgot all the football happened.
It's unbelievable. Rory, I'm so sorry. We are doing another stream, lads, so make sure you check it out. Obviously, the biggest game for Newcastle in a good 24 years. Adam McKola is watching it as well. Man United versus Newcastle. Make sure you check in. We'll be live on the channel very shortly. Big thanks to NordVPN. They've been backing us for the last couple of weeks. It's been unbelievable. The fastest VPN going. It stops all sorts of malware, dodgy sites tracking you. VPN's been unbelievable. And with the unique discount code, you can check it out. It's in the description right now. But NordVPN have been backing us. So thanks so much, lads. Really appreciate it. It's been a great stream. Flav, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much to Flav. We really do appreciate it. Flav, where do we hear more from you?
Oh, got a podcast, the Fighting Cock.
Mate, I'll set you up.
You
like
just won a game of football.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm loving it. I'm just trying to be respectful about Rory. If you're a Spurs fan and somehow you haven't heard of my podcast, then yeah, the Fighting Cock. Go and listen to that. Or James and Flav for Now podcast. If you're not a fan of Tottenham, That's a good. You're right,
podcast.
Rory.
No, I'm not all right.
I know. I can see it.
No, I'm not all
Do you want
right.
me to go?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
All right.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you are not subscribed, please click the subscriber button right now. It massively helps us out. We will be back at 4:15. See you then. We're going to be cup finaling.